Welcome to Package of Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
We're talking about Batman Universe from Brian Michael Bendis, Nick Darrington, and Dave Stewart on colors. This was the Walmart book. Remember when comic book stores were going to be buried by Walmart, putting out like one Batman story, like half a Batman story every month? And in fact, those Walmart books were buried by Yu-Gi-Oh cards in like the lowest section of the store, and nobody bought it anyway. So, we actually talked about this on another show where we were like, what are they going to do with those like original stories they made for the Walmart books? And I was like, well, they'll just collect them and they'll reprint them in the comic book store. So you'll get your own, like, hey, local comic book store, you'll get your like monthly copy of the book, which will come out monthly for no good reason whatsoever because it's been done for a year. And then it'll come out in a beautiful hardcover, and indeed it did. And it's available in the description, and I want you to buy it. So buy this book because it's just excellent. It is not only the best Batman book of the last 3 years, but it's also one of the best Bendis books of a lot longer. If you are not familiar with Nick Darrington's work, you can actually watch our episode on Doom Patrol, which Tiffany covered, which was like the new Young Animal run of Doom Patrol, where he kind of like shows up and just starts drawing the shit out of that book. But the thing about Darrington, and I think she pointed this out, is that he gives you perspectives and vantage points that you've never seen before. He just tries. You know what I mean? He's like, I can draw that, but can I do it a little more interesting?
Okay.
And so it works. And Dave Stewart's colors really pop in this book, so I just wanted to mention him too. But yeah, so Darrington's on this book. Bendis wrote it, and I remember saying when Bendis was coming to DC, because that was DC's whole marketing ploy. They were like, Bendis is coming! And it was because it was actually an homage to when Jack Kirby was like fed up with Marvel and he quit and he went to DC. And DC's like, we got Jack motherfucking Kirby! Jack Kirby helped create the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer and all of Marvel's cosmology. What do you got, Jack? Orion?
Damn it!
I mean, no, the reality is Jack Kirby created the New Gods and Darkseid. He actually created a beautiful and incredible corner of the DC Universe, which was largely ignored, by the way, which is why I made a joke about it.
Is that why the Omega Beams crackle?
Yeah, well, he invented the Kirby crackle. Yeah. So like, that's the reason why anyone with any energy whatsoever has crackles around them. It's because Kirby did it. So when he was moving to DC, they put in all these books like Kirby is coming, like as a kind of like warning.
Right.
And in the 70s, it was less like lol. It still meant that, but like it still had the double entendre, but I don't think they weren't like thinking of it in that terms, and their audience probably wasn't going like lol.
Right.
So is Kirby gonna splooge all over the book before we get it? Like, is that the idea here? But when
less crass.
Yeah, but when this came out like a few years ago, and it was just a double-page splash that said Bendis is coming, and Superman has his hands on his hips and he's got his his pelvis thrust out. It's like Bendis will personally splooge on every single copy of Superman just for you. Like, I mean, that's how it looked. But the idea here is that he did.
Sal,
you have a dirty mind. Superman just stands like that. That's how it's a heroic pose.
It is a heroic pose. It's iconic.
Why are you focusing on my crotch?
But why does it say that next to? Don't do that.
Also, that's not what's happening. It's just what Bendis is going to make happen when he writes the story.
Well, and also, like, Jack Kirby drew and wrote, and arguably was a better artist than he was a writer. Bendis don't draw. No. He's just writing.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near as big a deal.
No! Yeah. When Kirby showed up, he created the fourth world. When Bendis showed up, he created Rolkazar.
Oh, man.
And I remember when Bendis was going to DC, I was like, he'd be great on Batman. Just give him Batman. Because Bendis loves writing street-level characters. Not even that he loves it, he's good at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Motherfucker knows how to tell a story about a tortured soul who lives in an urban environment that punches people with, like, gloved hands. That's what he does. That's how he does it best. He wrote Daredevil. If you can write Daredevil, you can write Batman, please do it. And he was like, I want Superman. And it was like, look no further than his run on Century. And when I say run, I mean use of the character in other books that he wrote to see how he'd handle Superman. And by the way, like, dude has too much reverence. It turns out that the reason why he was so, like, influential in Marvel is because he didn't give a shit. He's like, flip it all over. The Avengers? You mean the D-listers? Which is me really talking back then.
Yeah.
Oh, Hawkeye? Oh, no. How many fans do you have? 2? And it's like, Vision? Kill that stupid robot. Let's do it. Why isn't the Avengers the equivalent of the Grant Morrison Justice League?
I don't care about these guys.
Who cares? Put Spider-Man and Wolverine and Batman. We don't own Batman. Well, screw it. Put Batman in there anyway. What do they care? We're not selling them already, and we're in a recession. Come on. Like, that's how he handled it. But when he went to DC, he's like, okay. I don't want to. And so, like, and I remember in interviews he talked about, like, being afraid of writing Batman. He's like, I don't want Batman. It's too big.
Do you think success made him more like before he was hugely successful?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, well, I got nothing to lose.
Well, all he had was indie cred, and when you're an indie creator and you come into like the big house, you flip over the tables.
You have to take big shots.
Yeah, you got
now
to be Sid Vicious. You got to be like, oh, who gives a shit, right? I'm pissing in the bird bath. You know what I mean? Like, but when you become like the elder statesman of the industry, and then you're like, you get to write Superman for the first time.
My goodness, someone's pissing in the bird bath.
Oh, no, the bird bath. But that's my bird bath. That bird bath's iconic. That bird bath informed all the other bird baths behind it. Like, that's Bendis now. That he was apparently afraid of writing Batman, and that may have been the thing that pushed him into Superman, but I think it's just that he had too much reverence for Superman. Was like, if I don't write Superman, I will hate myself forever, so I'm going to do it.
Right.
And because his Superman is actually pretty in character. Kal-El behaves in character. Everything else is Bendis. But like Bendis after Ultimate Spider-Man. So it's like, Rogolzar, kill Kandor. Here's 4 hot chicks who might sleep with Clark if we undo this marriage, which I'm sure is coming. Or was. Now that 5G is like, who knows? But it seemed that he was kind of like more intimidated by the character.
All right.
And he read this like quote by Frank Miller, of all people, who, by the way, I was watching an interview with Frank Miller and a bunch of Batman writers.
Yeah.
It was him next to Tom King. And he was talking about how important Superman was. And Tom King says, but Superman's boring. Who cares about him?
Tom King said that?
Yeah. Which is like, oh, yeah, no, I get it now. And Frank Miller's like, no. And I'm watching Frank Miller, like, from 3 years ago, be really articulate and cogent and, like, going, like, and then schooling him on Superman.
And like dressing him down?
Yeah, he's like, no, Superman's the most important. Like, yeah, and then he starts talking about, like, oh, well, he could fucking throw the sun out of orbit. You're talking about stuff that happened 60 years ago. Like, and I'm like, Frank, what? And he's like, I'm writing Superman next. That's what I want to do. That was Superman Year One, which we covered, which is, its own thing.
Yeah.
But my point was that Frank was articulate and had, like, things to say. And it was like, he still got it, kind of.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome. And as a...
it's just when he writes it down.
Well,
When he puts it down.
I feel like he went through a period, and now he's emerging from that period where he's kind of pulling things back together.
Well,
I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want any more Dark Knight sequels, but I would think that Frank Miller might be a really good editor.
Oh.
Like, maybe this dude just gets it.
Maybe he could be a good resource for young writers.
I think he's definitely that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But he wrote this quote, which Bendis saw, and it said basically that anybody can write Batman. Like, Batman is anything. Like, it's easy to write Batman because he's like, I've almost never seen a story. And he said this to Tom King, and it was hilarious because he was like, well, as long as you don't, like, betray the fundamental cores of what the character is. And, like... You knew.
Tom.
It wasn't even there yet. He hadn't even gotten there yet, and it was like, like when you know what's coming, you're like, oh, that's amazing. So Bendis sees this quote by Frank Miller, and it says basically that anybody could do Batman. And I've like, as long as you don't betray the fundamental core of who this character is, like, I've never seen a run on Batman where someone didn't say, yep, that's Batman. Like literally, like, Batman's in the Old West. Yep, that's Batman to me. No, there's Batman, and he's in space. Yep, that's Batman, all right. Good old Batman, always going into space. And then it's like, okay, Frank Miller, well, you would know. You've written Batman, the arguably
Very seminal book.
the most definitive Batman run of all time. So, maybe not. But the idea was that he was like, I gotta get into the core of who this character is, and I need to know who Batman is for me. Like, what's my Batman?
Okay.
And he won't reveal what truth he has in his mind about Batman that got him into writing this book.
Okay.
And it's funny because, like, he told Matt Fraction, another comic book writer, and Matt Fraction said, don't tell anybody that you said that. Like, your understanding of Batman may have worked, but don't tell anybody what you needed
They
to
will
think.
lose their minds.
Yes, to arrive to that conclusion, because it will not go well for you.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Now
what
I
is it?
have to know. I didn't care before,
I
but
couldn't
now...
have cared less. But now it's like, oh my god, like, what is it? What?
If that was a ploy,
Yeah.
like mission accomplished.
Yeah, you
like
got
I
me.
had no idea for Batman. Oh, don't tell people that.
Yeah, yeah. Not only it's a brilliant myth, because also you've implicated somebody else. Matt Fraction will now be hounded at Comic-Con. What did Bendis tell you?
Oh no.
Batman's uncircumcised. You know.
We're going to Black Label.
Oh.
Why?
Oh no!
Yeah, man, I guess you wouldn't really want him.
No, he said it wasn't sexual. Actually,
Okay.
I don't know what it is. You know what it is? It's a motherfucking J.J. Abrams mystery box. You know what's inside that box?
Anything.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Oh,
Yep.
never mind. Nothing.
No. Well, it can be anything, but it was always nothing.
Yeah.
It is the end of Lost.
It's your
It is
imagination.
Rise of Skywalker.
It's better if you left it to your imagination, but instead it does get explained and you wish it hadn't.
Bingo. But thankfully, Batman Universe is the culmination of all that, and man, when Nick Darrington got called to do this, I was like, yes. Because I loved that Doom Patrol run. I was like, this looks so good. It
was a cool book.
He did so many awesome things with it. And he gets you in the first page because he's like, hey, you've never seen Batman like this before. And it's like, what do you mean? The first 2 pages are, you are Batman. And you're in the driver's seat of the Batmobile.
Oh.
And he shows you as Batman open the roof, fire a grapple gun, and scale a building through Batman's eyes. And it's just so cool. And the whole thing is Batman is investigating a Riddler situation. And
Oh boy.
yeah, I know. And it's like, thankfully, Bendis, pure Bendis, perfect Bendis, distilled excellent Bendis. Because Bendis is like, I'm not a genius. I can't write for Riddler, but I want to use him. So how do I fix that? And so he actually has a plot contrivance that makes it so that Riddler is not as smart as he normally is. So his riddles are kind of crappy, but everybody else gets to call it out without, like, being stupid too.
Okay.
Okay.
So Batman gets a riddle, and he's talking to Alfred about it, and the riddle is, when is the Riddler not the Riddler? And Alfred's like, that's pretty weak. And Batman's like, I thought so as well. Like, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, professionally disappointed. You know, and Alfred's like, I kind of like Riddler. Like, I always kind of thought of him as like one of your like higher caliber villains.
Well, he's one of your
He
gentlemen.
doesn't like kill hundreds of people
he
usually.
He puts the work in. And this just feels kind of phoned in.
Right.
And I'm like,
the work in.
yeah, like
they all do.
Well, like, no, remember the death of the family? Or, no, remember Lonely Place of Dying? Two-Face is like, oh, as long as there's 2 of them, I don't give a shit.
Okay, no, Two-Face doesn't put the work in there, but Two-Face has definitely put the work
He's
in
dedicated.
other schemes.
He's on brand.
Yeah.
But you know, the whole thing falls apart. Riddler is like, it's a compulsion. He has to do something, and it has to be intricate. It can't just be like, it's 2 of them. Where's Two-Face going to strike? Probably at the Twin Towers, if I had to guess.
Not anymore.
Or at the Second National Bank. Thanks.
Right.
Nice 9/11 joke. I don't know if 9/11 happened in Gotham. I don't know if Gotham has a 9/11.
Gotham has Twin Towers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes.
Oh.
Depends on who's writing it.
And they're like the Twin Towers, not like Gotham Towers.
No, the Gotham Towers is just.
Oh, okay.
What I like
Sometimes-
about Riddler is his plans are so intricate that you know exactly what he was doing between now and his previous appearance.
Yes.
He's setting up the current plan.
Right, but
With
what-
all the other characters,
like-
it's like, what are they doing in between appearances?
It's true. Joker I get because his
Jo-
are
well,
usually
his are
pretty
also
big,
intricate,
But like
yeah.
Two-Face, Penguin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Penguin's
Mr.
just being
Freeze.
lazy.
They're just doing regular, boring crime.
Yeah, well, they're funding their enterprise.
Yeah.
Penguin.
He's
they're-
running like monopolies and
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
probably
And he does have his
casinos
own
and things.
business.
Yeah, but you're not going to see a book about it. I
No.
feel like we've seen every single
Riddler story.
that occurred.
Yep,
Whereas
in
with
real time.
Whereas with like Two-Face and Penguin, we're just getting snapshots of their most extreme
In
plan.
actuality,
Because-
they're usually pretty successful because they're usually winning.
Because
we're
you're
getting
getting
where
a
Batman shows up.
If you're seeing all of Riddler,
Yeah.
like all the times in between, he's just got like a corkboard with strings.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly.
I gotta
In his
I gotta
underwear,
make
just
this
like,
thing.
oh,
Yeah, he's like walking around places, setting things up. It's boring. You don't want to see that. It takes forever.
He's
Yeah.
testing stuff. He has to go
Yeah.
through like 20 phases of a trap for it
yeah,
to
I have
actually
to make
work
sure
right.
that no matter which direction Batman comes in from, it'll go
sprung.
perfectly correctly.
yeah, absolutely.
But not kill him because that would ruin the whole thing.
yeah, because I need to. He's my equal.
Oh.
Well, slightly lower. Like, please, Riddler. The idea here is that Riddler sent this riddle, and Batman, triangulates his position, and he gets to this location, which is full of Riddlers. The whole place is just choked with people in Riddler costumes.
Oh.
And
Like RiddlerCon.
yeah. And so Batman is like, okay, what's going on here? And Alfred's using the cameras in Batman's cowl to see them and use facial recognition on them. And he's like, they're all professional stunt people. And some of them have criminal records. Batman's like, oh, stunt people with criminal records, you say? So he just lays into all of them.
No, you're supposed to fake the punch.
And no, he is beating the hell out of everybody.
It's permission.
And it's great because Alfred's like, now this is the Riddler I know. Like, I get it now. Riddler must be in this sea of people. When is the Riddler not the
Right.
Riddler? When he's surrounded by the Riddler.
okay.
Thank you. That's not the riddle, by the way.
I would expect not. No, he's still the Riddler at that point.
But Batman chases after Riddler. And I love it because, Riddler makes it out the front door and across the street. And when Batman is about to catch up to him, Riddler pulls a gun. And Batman is about to take Riddler down. But when Riddler takes out the gun, Batman's like, fuck that. Like, he's angry he pulled out a gun. So
Yep.
he puts him through the window of the restaurant across the street.
No.
And it took me a couple of readings to notice that. I just thought it was cool, but I
Right.
noticed that the close-up on Batman's eyes is an indication of him being like, oh no. Like, Batman doesn't like guns. But it's not as a scene where Batman's like, you pulled a gun on me? A gun on me? Like, no, there's almost no dialogue.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
It wasn't going to be as fierce, but then he's just like,
Yeah.
oh, guns?
son of a bitch.
God damn it, Riddler. So it puts him through
Well,
a
like,
window.
also, that's not you.
Yeah. Yeah, come
Yeah.
on.
Where's the riddle
Of
in
that?
that?
Yeah.
It's just you're just a thug.
Exactly.
Simple, you're going to be riddled with bullets.
That's not a riddle. That's a joke.
It's a pun.
That's a pun.
Yeah, that's practically Joker.
Yeah.
You don't want him to finding out. So Batman takes the
I'm sorry,
egg
he
away
did what to you?
So Batman takes the egg away from him, and he's like, he identifies the Fabergé egg that Riddler stole.
Right.
He's on loan.
It's like the lamest friggin'
That's the thing.
crime.
He's like, it's $15 million valued. So I mean, I get
Okay.
it. But come
This
on.
is a penguin crime.
Yeah, it is a penguin crime because it's an egg. But
Or like a Catwoman crime.
yeah, right. So what are you doing? And it's great because he says, okay, so I got you. Who's the buyer? It's worth $15 million, but you're not buying it. Like, you're stealing it to defend it.
Yeah.
You don't collect.
Yeah, who's the buyer? And Riddler says, when is the Riddler not the Riddler? And Batman's like, yeah, no, I solved your riddle. I beat you. And Riddler's like, when is the Riddler not the Riddler? And he's like, what are you trying to tell me, man? And he's like, when is the Riddler not the Riddler? And then the whole window is filled with light, and Batman is hit by a electric blast, which knocks him out.
Oh.
So clearly, Riddler is afraid. And Riddler is not doing this
For himself.
for himself. So when Batman comes to, there's cops around him, and they're kind of arguing with themselves because one of them wants to take the mask off. They're like, go ahead, you do it.
What is that, body armor?
Yeah. And Batman just goes, please don't.
Oh, guys, awake!
And this is a tone setter that I really want to isolate because Batman is kind of like a person in this book. And that's
In a way that he's normally not.
Well, he's not a force or some weird myth.
or a Tom King asshole. And that's really the thing that this may be up there in my top 5 Batman books forever, partially because it came out during the Tom King run and was so different.
Such a departure from
Yeah,
it.
because Tom King was like, I am Batbot, please insert emotions. It's just so miserable.
Joke on you, there are none.
Yeah, Batcat, I'm stuck in a causality loop. It's because of that. It was Batman made a joke and he's not an asshole. It was oh my God, that was, I felt something.
Mm-hmm.
And, but it's genuine. It has this kind of Batman Brave and the Bold kind of feel because there's cameos. This book has a lot of stuff going on. Batman is, in the beginning, Riddler steals a Fabergé egg and Batman stops him. Classic Batman. But it's called Batman Universe. Why? For a number of reasons. I don't think it's the best title, but I don't care. Because it's not egregious or obnoxious. It's kind of like, all right, fine.
It can mean a lot of things.
And it's never been called that. It's not like an homage. There's never been a Batman universe book, so okay, knock yourselves out. But Batman does actually travel the universe. He has like multiple costume changes. He teams up with multiple heroes throughout the book. Like a lot happens, and it like seamlessly blends in to each other. Batman's great nemesis in this is not a Batman villain, and it's like really fun.
Okay.
So
is this in continuity? What is this? Okay.
Like,
It's
whatever.
ambiguous.
Sure.
Who's Robin? Are there Robins?
No
What's
Robins in the book.
No Robins at all.
No,
Okay.
actually-
Are they referenced?
Yes, Dick Grayson shows up in the book.
Okay.
As Nightwing,
Nightwing.
during the time when Tom King had Dick Grayson get shot in the head by a sniper and have amnesia and then reject his identity as Dick Grayson because Dan DiDio was tired of people making dick jokes about Dick Grayson on the internet, so he changed his name to Rick Grayson.
What?
Yup. That's a thing that was happening while this happened. So when Nightwing shows up, I'm like, oh, old friend, you don't know what's about to happen to you. Let's see Batman and Nightwing go on an adventure. And Batman treats him like a surrogate son and not like an asshole. And it's just like really nice. Thankfully, neither of those factors are in play in Batman anymore. And the fact is, like, people embraced this more unanimously than they did the Tom King run. So, like, you can bet your boots that this is more in continuity than ever before.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
the fact is also that this came out in 2018. Like, so you know, if you were reading the Walmart books, like you saw this a year before it came out in floppies, and then several months before it came out in hardcover. So
What was the format of the Walmart books?
the format of the Walmart books was that it was a 100-page giant book.
Oh.
That like had mostly reprints of other books.
Oh, right.
And part of an issue in
Yeah.
each other story.
So you could
That's
get
right.
into the character in multiple ways.
yes, and you could be
And there was
exposed
multiple
to all these
characters in each book.
Yeah. Well, there was a Teen Titans book, a Batman book, and
Okay.
other books.
Oh, but each one had older.
And older stories
from that
broken up
character.
in them.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it
okay.
would introduce you, hopefully, to multiple stories that you would go out to your local comic book store and buy.
Right.
The Riddler stuntmen are being interrogated, and they all have the same story, which is we were paid. We thought it was a prank /
Flash mob.
flash mob
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay.
You mean that was really Batman kicking my ass? That's kind of awesome.
It's like, that's awesome. That also explains why I actually got my ass kicked.
Right. And
Normally
why
I
I'm not,
fake it.
and why I'm not going to make any money from any lawsuits. I can't sue an
Yeah.
urban vigilante.
Oh, if you could though.
Oh my
You
God.
don't even
Yeah,
know.
but be
Can't they
rolling
just
in
sue
it.
the city?
You could sue the city. Yeah.
You could, but is the city liable
The
for
city
what
did not
Batman
arrest
does?
Batman afterwards.
No, but also they
Yeah.
couldn't. He got away.
What?
The reality
They were
is
everywhere when he woke up.
the police department has his phone number on the roof. Come on.
I guess in any court case that would come up.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, Batman is not an official
Reality
with the
is-
city. Then what's his friggin' light doing on the top of GCPD?
Hey, if you have any issues about the utilities at the GCPD,
You talk to the power company.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a privately owned light. They could pass a law or an ordinance that specifically exempts Batman from all liability
They probably should.
concerns. Yeah, he's basically like an active god.
Right. So Batman's meeting with Gordon on the roof.
Okay.
And he's going over the case. And, Batman traced the Fabergé egg and the owner to someone who did own it back in the 1800s. And the person who owned it in the 1800s was Jonah Hex. Yeah.
What?
And Batman's like, what?
He's
So-
like us.
Yeah. He's like, Jonah Hex. And
Jonah
Batman
Hex?
has met him and had adventures with
Sure.
Jonah Hex. So he's like, okay.
I don't
Makes
run
a
into
lot
him
more
very
sense why
often.
he's on the back of the cover. I
Yeah.
thought this was just a reference to other DC things at the time.
Yeah, no, it's all happening. All
Oh
this
my
stuff happens.
God.
But thankfully, Bendis also cares about projecting his own characters that he's invented. And one of them is the great-great-granddaughter of Jonah Hex, Ginny Hex, who will join his run on the Young Justice book.
Okay.
So Batman goes to like the middle of nowhere where Ginny Hex lives
Okay.
to ask her about it. And I love it because Batman just rolls up into this like sleepy little town. It's
daytime.
It's daytime. Batman's
Nothing's going
there.
on.
He pops out and there's like a crossing guard lady like waiting for school to let out. And she's like, "Did you make a wrong turn?" And he's like, "I'm looking for somebody." And she's like, "Well, the Joker hasn't been here."
She's just hiding under her stop sign.
And
Like,
she's
oh,
just
no,
like, she thinks
something's gonna happen.
She's like, either he's a cosplayer or like Batman has a question. And he just says like, "Man, I love small towns." Like, so he goes, "I'm looking for Ginny Hex," and she goes, "Ginny," because she's in front of the garage where Ginny works. And she's like, there's a man here to see you. And she's like, wow, Batman, what are you doing here, man? He's like, I'm here because you donated a Fabergé egg to the museum. It's worth $15 million. Why didn't you use it? She goes, do you have $15 million? And he's like, on me? And she's like, do you know anybody who would buy it from me for $15 million? And he's like, not really.
Maybe.
And he's like,
I might know a wealthy billionaire.
yeah, he actually puts that shit
make some
away.
calls.
But he's like, not really. And she's like, sounds to me it's like it's not worth $15 million then, because I couldn't sell it for $15 million, so I just got rid of it.
Yeah, but you could sell it for like $1 million.
Maybe, I don't know.
Have you heard of an art dealer?
Not really.
There's people that could help you with this.
Not really. I'm Ginny Hex. I'm just a simple country girl.
All right.
So she donated to the museum. She's like, I got a certificate from them and everything. Maybe I'll even frame it one day.
You know, museums will buy stuff too. You could have just asked them for some money.
Think about this. You donated it. That's $15 million worth of tax credit.
That's
that's
true.
true.
Maybe it just keeps winding down year after
I
year.
don't have to pay taxes forever.
Next year,
She's
you
like-
won't have to pay taxes.
Next year.
1 year.
Well, you know, I think
You can't spread it out. That's
there are
called
certain
tax
ones
fraud.
you can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
There are
Which
certain types you
ones?
can.
And he's like, okie dokie, bye.
Mm-hmm.
So he leaves, and we never see her in the book again. It's just a tease for Young Justice. Go
What?
Check it out on sales now.
Are you kidding?
No, that's it. That's all of Ginny Hex.
That's all.
Just-
She's okay.
Do you like this character? She's fun.
Is she? We
Kinda.
didn't get a whole lot of introduction.
No, but aren't you intrigued? Go pick up Young Justice on sale now.
Does it say that in the
I would
book?
have been more intrigued
mean,
had she been in the book more.
It's in the art, you see.
Yeah.
No, I know she's not in the book anymore. But so Riddler is sent to Amsterdam for protection
By whom?
by the buyer.
Oh.
And Riddler's like, I gotta go! Like, 'cause Riddler literally, the clandestine group that zapped Batman absconded with Riddler and just took him from there to Amsterdam. So he's still wearing his Riddler costume. He still has like a broken nose from when Batman punched him. Like,
It's all
And he still
gross.
has the
He got
egg.
showered.
yeah, and they still have the egg.
okay.
Yeah.
And he's at this like club in Amsterdam where like there's this like dude who's like, hey, Riddler, you are fun. I protect you. And Riddler's like,
I recognize you. You're someone from America.
right. And Riddler's like, I gotta get out of here. He's like, hey, settle down, Riddler. It's gonna be okay. He's like, no, I can't be seen like this. Batman will find me. He's like, Batman lives in Gotham. Come on, man. What are you talking about? And then Batman shows up.
Is that your Amsterdam accent?
No, that's my like whatever this guy is accent. Like
Oh,
this,
okay.
this little guy is like, hey, what's
Oh,
going on?
yeah.
Lots of questions this guy has. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Batman shows up and he's like, hey, Eddie.
Yeah. I found you.
And Riddler's like, shit, no! And then the guy's
Is
like,
that guy like, oh, madame?
No, he's like, relax, I got a guy. And then Deathstroke shows up.
Oh.
And Deathstroke is behind Batman. And he's like, hey, I snuck up on you. That's going to haunt you forever. And then Batman and Deathstroke fight. And you're like, sweet! Deathstroke and Batman! And it's drawn by Darrington, so it looks freaking dope.
Cool.
And thankfully, because Alfred and Batman have been communicating the entire time, Alfred gives some exposition. If you're not familiar with Deathstroke, because you're reading a Walmart book, it says,
Right.
Alfred says, Deathstroke is a mercenary and an assassin who uses 90% of his brain power.
What?
Yeah.
That's how he can do all this stuff.
Oh, so he's like 10% dumber than a normal person who uses 100% of the brain.
Yeah.
No, Ethan.
No.
No,
You
we only use like 15%.
Yeah.
If we could unlock the rest of it, I'd be like, floating shit with my mind.
Haven't you seen Lucy?
God damn it.
I think they've since retired that element of Deathstroke.
Good. But Bendis remembers.
But
Or
Bendis
he didn't
remembers,
read
or
that.
Didn't care. Yeah. Bendis don't care.
Like, I haven't read DC in like 20 years.
Yeah, well, I read like the 4 Superman books I needed to get prepared for Superman. I read way fewer Batman because I wasn't going to write a Batman book, remember?
I know that Deathstroke has a sword. There.
Deathstroke is called the Terminator sometimes, so I'm going to use that. Yeah, like, that's it. Oh, also, I think he uses like 90% of his brain. Yeah, I'm just going to put that in the book. I'm sure my editor will catch it.
How much of his brain does Batman use?
Not as much, but Alfred even says, just reminding you because I think you use far less.
Because he snuck up on you, sir.
Yeah, that's the kind of whimsy we're going to get in this book.
Right.
But while Batman's fighting Deathstroke, he throws a batarang at Nigma to try and stop him. It hits Nigma in the nose. And it
Which
gives him,
was
like-
already busted.
It's already busted. Now it's like bleeding like a sieve, and he's just like crawling away. Nigma's got his little box for the Fabergé egg, and he's just like, oh, I gotta get out of here. This is not a Riddler story. As Deathstroke starts to punch Batman, a green arrow hits Deathstroke in the neck and releases a kind of like gas that knocks him out.
Hey, I'm in the book too.
I'm in the book now, and that's the
Is
kind
that what
of,
this book's gonna be? Just
Yes.
cameos of characters?
Yes.
Okay.
Not a lot of characters.
Okay.
But characters that would be fun interplay with Batman.
Yeah.
Because like
Maybe it was Ollie. Was Ollie the buyer?
right, no. Yeah, because he has a lot of money. But Ollie's great because like they're not complete assholes about each other.
Right.
They're just like, hey, Batman.
Yeah. Hey, we're kind of similar.
Slade's unconscious. They're just kind of like making fun of Riddler at this point. Like literally, Batman and Green Arrow are just standing in front of him, while Riddler toys with the box, and he's like, "Riddle me." Where he basically says, "The man who invented it doesn't want it. The man who bought it doesn't need it." And Batman finishes it and says, "And the man who needs it doesn't know it yet. It's a coffin. It's one of your earliest riddles." And Arrow goes, "And it's terrible." And
One of the oldest ones in the book.
And then Batman goes, "You're embarrassing yourself in front of Green Arrow.
God damn it.
Are you feeling okay?"
Really? In front of Green Arrow?
Yeah. And he goes, "Are you feeling okay?" And then Riddler goes into a Bendis-esque monologue where he's like, "Okay, riddle me this.
Son of a bitch.
Who had a lot more juice in the riddle tank when he started?"
I thought he was flipping them off while he was doing that. Oh, riddle me this, you bastard!
That'd be awesome. That's too bad.
Yeah. And then
I'm just gonna imagine it that way.
it couldn't go in the Walmart.
It wouldn't go in
book.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, Riddler just like freaks out at them, where he's like, "Riddle me this, like, who had a lot more juice in the riddle tank when this whole thing started, and hasn't had a wink of sleep since I left Gotham and ended up in Amsterdam and got punched in the face like 3 times?" And Arrow goes, "Is it you? Or is the answer to the riddle you? Because it feels like it's about you." And then Batman says, "Who's the buyer?" And then the police show up and interrupt them, and then Batman and Green Arrow like both throw smoke and escape.
One's blue, one's green.
Yep.
Yay.
And so they run away, and Riddler runs down a corridor and leaves like little cards with question marks on them as a trail behind him. And Arrow's like, "This is why everybody hates your Rogues Gallery." And Batman's like, "They could be at acquired taste." And he goes, what is this? What does he have these custom made? And Batman's like, "We want to talk." And Arrow's like, "Fair enough." So what does it mean? And Batman's like, "It means he wants us to follow him."
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
no, he doesn't want to be in this story.
Well, no, he wants us to follow him. This is the trail. And he's like, so he's expecting me to know that and then go the other way. So let's go up. So they go up and over, and then they get up on the roof, and Riddler is using his riddle cane as a, like, helicopter conveyance like Penguin did in Batman Returns. And they're just like, well, there he goes.
What? His cane can be a helicopter?
It's a silly book. It's supposed to it's meant to invoke like older Batman stories.
Yeah.
But like that's something the Penguin did.
The Penguin did that in the movie with real people. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is less preposterous, I think.
Plus, the Riddler has always had gadgets and traps and things.
Yeah. So anyway, Arrow hits Riddler in the foot with his arrow, which is attached to a rope, and Batman pulls him in and knocks him out. And then Arrow picks up the box and opens it up, and he asks Batman, "Have you heard from Clark lately?" And Batman goes, "Oh, I hear from him constantly. Why?" And he goes, "Oh, so he's just avoiding me then."
I thought it had something to do
you're-
with the Fabergé egg.
You're
Yeah.
just, you
Like
don't
it was
rate.
kryptonite.
Yeah, right? No. In fact, there's just a riddle in it.
Oh.
And he's like, and Batman says, "What does it say?" Like, he already knows there's no Fabergé egg in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Man, all right." And he says, "What does it say?" And he says, "It says, riddle me this. What do you think I am, stupid?" Huh. He used to be a lot better at this riddle thing, right? Like, tell me he was better at this.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah. And then Batman is like asking Riddler for information, but Riddler's knocked out. Arrow's inspecting the box, and the box releases a neurotoxin which sprays
Oh.
Arrow in the face, and Batman's like, "You've been sprayed in the face with the neurotoxin. I have an antidote right here. Hang on a second." But it throws Arrow into a homicidal rage, and so he just starts launching arrows at Batman.
Oh, jeez.
And Batman's like, "You've been poisoned, Oliver. Hang on a second. I just got to get close enough to spray you." And so they have a little fight on the roof where like Batman fights
cool.
Green Arrow.
Ollie!
Yeah, literally that. And then he goes like, "All right, I can't spray you. You're too good." So he just grapples with him, and then a like electrical conduit appears, like it like morphs out of Batman's glove, and he just zaps Ollie, and then jumps on him and sprays him in the face.
That's cool. Used a gadget.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a fun little fight. But Ollie comes to his senses, and he's like, "Hey, Riddler got away." And he's like, "Yeah, don't worry, I got a tracker on him." And he goes, "Did I jump you back there?" He's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Did I win?" He goes, "Oh yeah, no. Oh, I feel shame."
Do you feel like you won?
Damn it! This is hilarious.
It's just a cute, fun story where Batman has colleagues and not people
Yeah.
who put up with him.
Right.
They're almost friends.
Yeah. So
Well, this might be a world where Batman didn't like develop contingencies for everyone and then let them.
There's no Brother Eye in this universe. Or there is, and they're like, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
It's just you didn't have to be an asshole about it. Like
They got over it.
Yeah, they got over it like people do. So Riddler finally limps over to the buyer and he hands over the Fabergé egg to Vandal Savage.
Oh.
Yeah, one of the eternal people.
Yeah.
Immortal.
Yeah, he's as old as humanity. The idea was like he was like a Cro-Magnon man.
Yeah.
And he interacted with a meteorite, which gave him like advanced intelligence and immortality.
How?
Meteorite.
Because comic book radiation works a little different. Than it does
Oh,
here.
it's radiation.
Yeah, from the meteorite.
Meteorite radiation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Vandal Savage is the main antagonist. He was the buyer. The idea here is that Savage has been chasing this Fabergé egg for hundreds of years.
This isn't just an ordinary Fabergé egg that was like made by a dude.
No.
This is like.
Well, it is, but there's something inside the egg.
Oh.
But they don't
A
reveal that for another
Fabergé
couple.
dragon.
Yeah, it's beautiful and it's made of crystal.
Very fragile.
Yeah, and very fragile. Don't touch it.
But when it comes to life,
Yeah.
well,
You have
Watch
to
out.
put it in a fire for it to hatch.
Oh, sure, yeah.
yeah, by a blonde.
Anyway, the idea here is that the egg is a vessel.
Yeah.
And
That's a little more interesting
yeah.
than a Fabergé egg.
And that the egg is emanating some sort of radiation which slows the minds of people who have close proximity to it. It's why
Riddler was like
Riddler
that.
wasn't so smart.
Okay,
Oh.
but it doesn't affect Vandal.
No, it
So-
doesn't. Probably because like he's affected by his own form of radiation. They don't explain it.
Oh, so when Batman was fighting Slade had like 50% of his brain he was using.
Yeah,
instead of
exactly.
the full 90 because
whoa,
proximity to the egg.
Slade didn't
Yeah.
have the egg.
No, but Riddler did.
Yeah, it was there. Oh no, it wasn't. It was just a riddle in there.
Yeah, but he had it in his like pocket.
Oh,
like he still has
right.
it.
It was still physically there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Batman is in the Batcave, and this is like Nick Darrington's version of the Batcave, which is pretty fun. I love it because like, you know, usually the artist takes an opportunity to be like, I'm gonna fill it with every Easter egg, and he puts Easter eggs in there, but he's mostly just like drawing this like really fun place of like columns, and it's just neat.
Yeah, and he's Iron Manning it up. He's got holographic crap
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, of course. But he's basically using the Bat computer to analyze the egg, in which discovers the radiation, which is like an uncatalogued form of radiation that heretofore never discovered on this planet. So Batman's like, okay, so it's alien in origin.
Okay.
All right.
Now, how is he able to do this now? He doesn't have the egg.
No, but
Radiation leaves.
Did he collect
leaves a
data
trail.
from it
he
before?
collected data from it before. Yeah,
So now he's just checking the results.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. He also did a brain scan through the Batcave just to see if he was affected, and Alfred's like, actually, remarkably, there's no damage to your brain, which I find remarkable.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
But like also,
Yeah, you think I was using only 90%?
yeah,
I
Batman used
lowered my
110%.
brainwave function, but I was still using like 120.
Yeah.
That good.
In any case, what they discover is that when you get away from the egg, it doesn't.
It's not permanent.
It's not permanent.
Okay.
It goes away.
I was gonna ask if it didn't affect Batman because he traveled through time.
No, it's not like that. It's not like Fry from Futurama.
Well, like it didn't affect him because like it
it
doesn't affect Vandal Savage.
it didn't
doesn't
affect
affect
him
me
'cause-
because I've also been there.
Right?
since the
Yeah, because
beginning.
I've been in the beginning of time. Batman didn't touch the meteorite.
It doesn't affect him because he's Batman.
No, it did affect him. It slowed him down too.
Yeah, but we weren't able to
quantify it.
No.
observe it.
No, well, maybe it's why he's like more personable, or maybe it's why like he was so quick to fight Riddler. You know, maybe it wasn't the gun. Maybe it was his close proximity to the egg that made him go through the window.
Right.
Ah, so it made him more like. This is a terrible pun. I didn't mean to make it, but more savage.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think so.
He just wasn't like a genius. He was like a normal dude.
Right.
For that much of the book.
Exactly. He continues to be a normal dude, so
Well,
I'm going to
well.
say no, it's not the egg's radiation. But yeah, so
No, Batman is a genius. We are normal dudes.
that's right. That's right. So Batman is tracing the tracker that he put on Riddler,
Right.
and he's like, okay, well, computer, engage my stealth armor and disengage the holographic Batcave simulation that I have going on while I'm in the Batplane heading to my location. So
Makes me feel really at home.
Yeah.
Why do you have to simulate the Batcave? That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
All you need is the images that you were calling up.
why not? If you can do it, why not? Also, it's a way to show you, like, hey, we're in the Batcave. I guess he went home. Oh, no, he's actually
no.
on his way to Gorilla City. Oh,
We don't
that's
actually
fun.
have to go home in order to show the Batcave.
That's right.
Some would call it a cheat.
So Batman's got his armor on, and you get to see his first costume change. Look at his stealth suit. It's literally the same thing. He's got a different.
He's got a different icon. He's
got a different
and
logo.
his eyes are
yeah.
green.
Yeah.
So he's seen in night vision or something.
Oh,
It's just kind of fun.
it's cool.
It's fun.
Well,
Little,
it's theming.
yeah, and,
Well, if the logo's going to be green, then my eyes are green.
well, it's more like if my eyes are gonna be green, I better make a green logo.
What's stealth about it?
It like has cloaking in it or something.
It has
But I
a
could
cloak.
see it.
Yeah, no, but like to sensors and technology.
Oh.
Because he's going to Gorilla City, and Gorilla City. What?
It's stealth like a stealth airplane.
Yes.
Like you could still visually see it if
Absolutely.
you're looking right at it.
And
Okay.
everyone does.
But
Yeah.
there's less turbulence.
Yeah.
No.
So-
it's got a reduced radar cross section.
Exactly. So Batman goes to Gorilla City because they have more advanced technology than the rest of us, and it's also engaging psychic shielding because the gorillas of Gorilla City are also telepathic.
Ah.
Oh, I thought only Grodd was.
No,
Oh.
Grodd's just the one that we see.
he's the dick.
Right. The rest of them stay in Gorilla City.
Yeah, and they just
He
enjoy it.
shows up in other books.
And fights Flash. Or
What's
something.
with Batman's Tron plane?
It's dope looking. That's what's up. With it.
It looks freaking awesome. That's what's up.
That's it.
Yep. Question
Behold.
asked, question answered.
So we jump into the reason why we're enjoying this book, which is the Darrington Druid. And so, like, as you could see, like, and he does this a couple
I
times.
thought it was because of Alfred's, I'm not
Constant-
there dialogue.
Yeah, well, he's fun. It provides a great narrative device that also gives you context for the characters you're interacting with.
Well, it at
but
least
also
allows
it's fun.
it allows Batman to talk without just having narration at us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or thought
Or
bubbles.
just talking to no one.
Actually, I don't think there's any thought balloons or caption boxes in this book.
That's cool.
Not even the gorillas who were, telepathic.
Well, those are basically just speech balloons, but they're using it telepathically. So anyway, Batman is shown in this double-page splash to like how he gets through.
He
the
like
city.
jumps around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love it because you get this 2-page splash of Batman like stealthily going through the city, and then when you turn the pages, all the gorillas are there, and they're like, "Oh wow, it's Batman! Hey,
Hey,
you're under arrest."
I heard your mind coming.
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey guys."
Your mind was entirely stealthy, but your shoes are real squeaky.
Exactly. Of course they do. They're bat shoes. So Batman's like, okay, fair enough.
damn
but
it.
Unlike Batman in every other book, Batman's like, okay, you caught me. Listen, I was trying to do this without any incident. Let's just go to the leader.
Right.
He doesn't fight the gorillas and then just
Right.
tell them what's what. He literally just is like, okay, let's tell the king that I'm here.
Yeah.
Is this the man who called my mother a silverback?
Basically that, yeah. He's talking to the king, and the king's like, "Okay, Batman. So, why don't you look at things from my perspective here? You break into my city. You're wearing psychic shielding, and you're skulking around for something that I know isn't here. What would you do if you were in my position?"
Hey, well, I did let myself get brought to you.
Right.
I could have beat up all those gorillas.
Yeah, and they're not people and have souls, so like, I could have killed them.
You know I kill aliens. And
Right?
you're basically aliens to me.
Right?
So.
We put you in zoos, like, please.
And we know you're smart.
Right.
We see you like doing
We see
puzzles
you,
and
like,
stuff.
doing puzzles, making clothes, and we still put you there on display.
We're monsters. Don't
Don't mistake me.
mess.
The Waynes actually donate highly to the zoos.
Yeah.
To keep you
We
there.
have a silverback preservation. Just from our funding. Anyway, so he interacts with the king, and the king's just like, tell me how this is not the most painful international incident this city's ever seen. And Batman's like, I need Riddler. And he's like, I don't know what a Riddler is. And he's like, no.
I don't read your books. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. And he's like, there's a dude, he dresses in green, and he has question marks on his body. And he
You
is
ever see him
here.
in commercials?
And he's aided by someone who's more powerful than your reach. And we need we need to stop the dick measuring.
Right.
And we need to
It's a
get
bigger problem.
right. And he's
So
like,
I came here to tell
he's
you.
like, I am. But Batman shows like deference to him, and he's like
Yeah.
really cool about it. He's like, listen, I just wanted to get it done.
Yeah, I just knew you wouldn't answer the phone. If I called you, I had to sneak in here.
Yes, and I apologize for trying to do it my way, and when I should have just come to you in the first place. And the other guy, like one of the other apes, is like, the human speaks the truth. I can read his mind through his crappy technology. The Riddler stole something, and I guarantee you he doesn't know how dangerous it is. And the king's like, that's intriguing. Okay, let's go. Lead the way.
See? I told you he was here. I didn't have to read your mind to do it.
Yeah. So Batman and the King go to the Hall of Thrones, and as they're on their way, the King's like, I'm still mad at you, Batman. And Batman's like, that was Aquaman's fault. And he goes, it's funny, he told me that it was your fault. So then we go to the Hall of Thrones, which from what I can tell is just simply a room where they keep chairs. And Riddler is unconscious, and he is holding the egg. And he has a note pinned on him. And the King's like, there's a Riddler. I didn't know.
How'd he get in here?
How'd he get in here? And so Batman opens the note, and the note says, sorry for the confusion. I'll catch you up on all this at the next meeting. Get the egg to the Hall of Justice Science Lab immediately. K.
What?
Kal-El.
Kal-El.
Yeah.
And
I was confused by that too until you said Hall of Justice.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Batman says computer scan the note. So anyway, yeah, this note is not from Superman. It's supposed to be, but it's clearly not. It's
Right.
a forgery. And he goes, how can you tell? And he goes, because I'm Batman. And then he takes the egg and he has the computer analyze it, and then everything kind of goes sketchy in this really cool sequence, which we'll see occasionally whenever he interacts with the egg, and the egg activates, where he tries to interface with the computer to call Alfred, but he can't because he's on Thanagar.
Whoa.
He's surrounded by Hawkmen, and one of them's like, my name is not Alfred.
Nah.
So Batman is then put in Thanagarian jail, which Bendis makes up for this book, which is really cool. In which Batman is he's in a chair, and he's got some of his bat armor off, but the main Batman stuff is still on, and the reason is because we want to see Batman in his bat costume, and the Thanagarians say that the reason is because it has safeguards and traps on it, and they didn't want to mess with it.
Right.
We don't
Right,
want
it's
to
booby
kill
trap.
ourselves
It's booby
or
trap,
accidentally kill him.
Right, exactly. But I love it because Batman is in this.
We're also very into helmets.
Yeah, as you can see. But he's in this chair, and he's surrounded by this sketchy black wall, and there's these sketchy depictions of Hawk people who interact with him in a very Bendis fashion. And he's like, I'm Batman. And they're like, yeah, we know who you are. We don't know why you're here. Well, I didn't come here on purpose. I was sent here by accident through a technology I don't understand.
I've come to find out which one of you laid this egg.
The egg didn't go with him, unfortunately. Lest they make that joke. Instead, he tries to name drop Carter Hall. He's like, I'm friends with Carter Hall. I'm like, whoop-de-doo.
Okay.
Good for you.
Oh, you know the name of a famous one of us.
Yeah, literally, that's their interaction. What a treat
Yeah.
is a line from the book.
That's fun.
Oh, that's
so-
great. I knew you're George Washington. I have seen him on the papers.
I have a note
that-
from him. He wrote E pluribus unum.
Does that buy me any credo with you? No? Mm-hmm. Fuck off.
What about Abraham Lincoln? He says, don't listen to Batman. He doesn't know shit. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend Grant here
Yeah.
has a little bit more pull.
I didn't realize that Thanagarians were so sarcastic. In any case, Batman has this back and forth with the Thanagarians, and eventually they just cross-reference him with everything they know, and they're like, "Oh, you're Batman. Oh, Batman. Okay, yeah, no, turn off the thing. Hey, Batman, what's up?"
Why is his helmet off?
Oh, he takes it off. They tell him to take it off,
Oh.
and he does, and he's like, "I'm Batman." He doesn't care. They're aliens. They're not going to go to Earth and be like, "Hey, I have something to say to your media." Batman is a white, black-haired, mid-30s man. What's your name again? He just identifies himself as Batman.
Right. Yeah, they don't know who Bruce Wayne is, I guess.
Yeah. So he's intercepted by more Hawk people, and he meets Jigsaw Hall, who's like, "Hi, Batman. I'm your liaison. Let's go." Anyway, Batman's like, "I'm not supposed to be here. This is just a fun little stopover for Darrington to draw Hawk people.
Right.
I need
don't
to
belong
leave.
here.
This is not part of the book.
Yeah.
This should not be here." So then they're like, "Okay, well, anyway, we'll teleport you. We got teleporters and stuff.
What?
Come on, let's go." And so they're about to jump off the platform. Batman's like, I can't fly." And they're like, "Oh, I assumed you could fly. You're Batman." He's like, "No, this is a cape." And they're like, "We thought it flew."
It looks like it would fly.
he's
Why do
like,
you wear it if it doesn't fly?
It glides. And they're like, "Oh, that's adorable." Well,
Oh, that's funny. You're like a child.
yeah, right. And they go "So you're what, about an 8?" And Batman's like, "An 8 what?" And then you see Batman in Hawkman armor that they made specifically for him so he can be Batman.
And it has bat wings.
It has bat wings.
Batwings, what? What are
That's awesome. Look at Batman.
Why would they have that?
Why do they have teleporters if they can fly?
Well, take you to other planets.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, it's a lot. It takes a long time to fly halfway around the planet.
Yeah. It's a whole planet of Hawk people.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not flying from here to here with
Their
my
wings flap. They don't even fly as fast as an airplane, and it still takes an airplane like 16 hours to fly around the
Give me a
world.
break.
So.
Come on. So Batman's in this really fun, and I want
It
an
looks
action
cool.
figure of it.
Yeah.
Batman Thanagarian armor, which literally has a Bat logo on it, branding. And so Batman is flying around with...
We had a feeling you might show up for no reason, Batman.
Yeah, or we had this on loan or something.
Yeah.
But
Well, we don't want to insult you or make other people think that you're with us.
Right.
Because we all have the Hawk logo.
I also love it because, like, you know, Hawkman's armor, you know, he's drawn like that because he looks cool. But, like, you have to justify why he's, like, showing off his awesomeness.
Yeah.
So Batman has to show off his, like, his body because that's what male Hawkman armor looks like. It's like, that's fun.
That's how you find your pecking order.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, how else would we design it?
Yeah, what are you
It's like,
talking
well,
about?
I don't know. You put a bat on it. You made it with bat wings.
What-
It could look like anything.
Well, what about
Can I wear a shirt?
your fat Thanagarians? I mean, they must have modesty, right?
Fat? What is this word, fat?
Shit. So anyway, then Aminar Sin shows up for no reason, and like,
Who?
we're not gonna get into the
You
Sin.
can't just throw a nonsense word like that out there.
Bendis does, so I will too. And then Batman's like,
Yeah,
okay.
but Bendis ain't on this couch.
So Bendis is like, hey, Aminar Sin shows up and attacks the Thanagarians in a book that you'll never see. And they're like, oh shit. And Batman's like, I'll help. And then Batman just immediately gets teleported away.
Don't worry, you got Batman. Oh, I'm leaving.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Good luck.
Which, like, is kind of fun because then you're like, oh man, like, what does this mean? Is this like an Adam Strange kind of situation? Because Adam Strange is like the John Carter of the DC universe, where he's like a dude who get hit by a Zeta beam, and the Zeta beam sends him to Ran, another planet, and he only gets to stay there as long as the beam's effects stay on his person. But when the beam wears off, he fades back to Earth.
Okay.
So it
I thought,
wasn't
like, oh, maybe the egg is shooting, you know, Zeta beams.
Yeah, like if it was
Yeah.
a timed thing.
Right, but no, it's not. It's something
not.
else.
Oh.
So Batman comes to, and he's still wearing his Thanagarian armor, and he's back in Gorilla City, and the gorillas
We have to give Batman wings, and this is the only way.
No, he ditches the suit immediately.
Yeah, they just want to draw.
I just wanted to draw that. And I'm like, yeah, Darrington, I want to see more of that shit.
Yeah.
Give me a statue of that. I really want it.
I hope he keeps that outfit.
He just leaves it. I assume he calls somebody, like
Yeah.
Alfred, to go get it.
Alfred, go get my.
Alfred, go to Gorilla
sweet-
City and go get my sweet Thanagarian armor. Which flies, mind you,
Yep.
with no jets.
Yeah.
That's dope. Put that in the cave. In my headcanon, he took it. Oh, no, in my headcanon, you push the bat on it and it shrinks down, you know.
Into like a little backpack.
It's like a little
yeah,
backpack. Yeah. So, anyway, the gorillas have been beaten up.
Oh,
and
no.
And he meets up with the king, and he's like, oh, no. And he's like, he came, he took the Riddler and the egg when you disappeared. Why'd you leave? And it's like, it wasn't my fault, man.
I don't know, what did you see? What exactly happened?
Yeah, and he goes, he called himself Savage. And Batman's like, ah, crap. Vandal Savage. And then Batman, like, passes out.
Batman passes out?
Yes.
From so much, like,
exhaustion
I
of
guess.
teleportation,
teleporting?
maybe?
Precisely. Possibly. I don't know.
Huh.
But he
All
passes
right.
out, and the king's like, Batman, wake up! I have more questions. So when Batman
Also,
comes,
I'm bleeding.
so when Batman comes to, he's in the Hall of Justice, and
Oh.
and he's greeted by Green Lantern and Cyborg.
Okay.
Hey man, we picked you up in Gorilla City. Wonder Woman, Superman are there, smoothing over the international incident you kicked off,
Yeah.
because they're all blaming it on you.
What?
Because you showed up with this guy, he's never been in Gorilla City, and then Vandal Savage showed up, kicked
Yeah.
everybody's ass, broke all his
Yeah.
stuff.
You showed up, and then somehow Riddler was also there, but you knew he was going to be there, so like they're thinking you had something to do with it.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
Superman's like, no, come on.
And then you teleport away, and this other dude showed up. They just thought it was you.
No,
Yeah.
I just knew that Riddler would be there. Oh, okay. Well, how'd you know?
I had a tracker on him. And it tracked me to Gorilla City. That's a reasonable answer.
Yeah, that's a fair answer. Did he tell the gorillas
Yeah.
that? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no. He's like, I got a tracker. That's why I'm here. And they're like, well, we're telepaths and we don't see anybody.
Right. Okay. I wondered why they were giving him so much crap.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he was just because he wasn't telling them.
Well,
but
it
now
was
he
mostly
did.
because he was done. Well, it was mostly because he just.
The history between.
Yeah.
I thought they were hiding him. I didn't realize that they didn't know he wasn't
No,
there.
they just didn't know. They're
I
just.
thought they were
dupes.
lying, being like, well, I'm a telepath. He's not here.
Yeah. No.
Is there a reason he went there?
Because they wanted to draw Gorilla City.
No, but I mean, in the logic of the book, why did he go there?
Vandal Savage must have dropped him there, or the egg teleported him to Gorilla City.
Because, Ethan, the Riddler's there for protection because cavemen and apes have this real big, animosity
Rivalry.
going on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll never come here.
Because they have a disagreement about the missing link and everything. Anyway, so
Okay.
Batman interacts with like.
It's not like he's going there to pick up a thing
Nope.
or to like do something with the egg with their technology.
No, Riddler ends up in Gorilla City with the egg, and then Vandal Savage shows up with presumably an army of some kind that can defeat apes, and they abscond with Riddler and the egg.
Okay.
Didn't Riddler give Vandal Savage the egg?
Yeah, he did.
That's weird.
Well, he was going to, and maybe it teleported him like it teleported Batman when he picked up the egg.
Maybe.
The egg is unstable, let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So Batman has the interaction with Hal Jordan and Cyborg, in which, like, there's a little bit of fun interplay, but I'm not going to get into it. Batman
It's
essentially...
Hal Jordan. Doesn't that kind of
Yeah.
place it somewhere in time specifically?
It should, but it doesn't, so let's move on. So the reason why it's Hal and Cyborg is because they recognize that Batman was bathed in a radiation that is alien in origin, so they catalog it, and I think Cyborg says, like, congratulations, it's never been named, you get to name it. They don't, but...
You don't call it Bat-adiation?
Yeah, I call it I call it Badium.
Bat?
Like, instead of radium, it's Badium.
Batium?
Yeah.
Why don't they just call B-rays?
Because we already have beta rays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're horse people.
That's another universe. So, anyway, they trace the radiation to another location. We gotta go to another fun location.
Yeah, we gotta go somewhere else.
And Hal's like, oh, I know where that is. I'll take you. So Batman and Hal Jordan Green Lantern go to Dinosaur Island. So that Nick Darrington can draw dinosaurs.
Yay!
And Batman has an interaction with Green Lantern where he says, we're on Dinosaur Island! And Batman goes, I love dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know you do. You got one in your friggin' cave.
Literally, that's the back and forth. He goes, you do? And he goes, I have a giant dinosaur in my Batcave.
I thought you took that because someone was using it. No, I just like it.
Well, yeah, but I kept it, so obviously I like it.
I took it because it was a trophy. I kept it because it's a dinosaur. But I love this, like, this Batman is just like, I work with this guy. I can share a little bit about myself.
Yeah.
I love dinosaurs. I never get to go to Dinosaur Island.
He's not
You
just like
could go
hard
to
and gritty.
Dinosaur Island whenever you want. You
No,
haven't
Ethan, there's
played.
crime. I have to
There's
stop
always
crime.
I gotta fight
Yeah.
crime. I don't just get to moonlight in Dinosaur
It's
Island.
true. Very rarely does crime lead me to Dinosaur Island.
But the fact is, you do
Because
train as well.
dinosaurs are very lawful.
Well, they're beasts.
I was literally gonna say they're beasts.
But
Not
Batman,
dinosaurs for hire.
Batman does train. So, like, I would be like, okay, kids, we're going to Dinosaur Island to train.
Kids like Damien?
Yeah.
Like Damien.
Damien,
I call
Dick.
everybody, Tim,
Oh.
Dick.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barbara can go.
Yeah, come on. We're all going to Dinosaur Island.
even Jim can go.
Yeah, come on, Jim.
He's
You
gonna-
love this.
He's gonna go with like a beach hat and like a Bahama shirt
my
and
God.
shorts.
You said island. I thought it was just a name. Or maybe there's like a statue or something.
Well-
nope, real dinosaurs.
This is what I brought.
I'm not prepared.
They're all in their costumes and stuff, and he's just running around. Tourist
Jim Gordon
outfit.
is dressed like Jimmy
A Hawaiian
Buffett from
tourist.
Jurassic World. I was ready to get my drink on. So Batman and Green Lantern are flying around in their bubble, and then they get hit by a pterodactyl and they crash.
They get hit by a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Hal Jordan, greatest of Green Lanterns, gets hit by a pterodactyl in his bubble.
Well, he's
and
distracted.
It pops and
because
they fall.
because they had a little back and forth about how, like, they've never been to Green Lantern's house. He's like, you never been to my house? And he goes, well, yeah, no, we always come to my house. Do you have a nice house?
Do you have a butler?
Right. Well, he's like, do you have a nice house? And he's like, you mean, do I have a nice house compared to Stately Wayne Manor? No. And he's like, that's why we don't go to your house. That's it.
Truly, you are the greatest of all Green Lanterns.
Easily.
Hal.
I don't know why I didn't call Simon Baz. So anyway, they fight dinosaurs. But Batman's like, be careful with them. They're just beasts.
Don't hurt them. They don't know any better.
They don't know any better. He's happy to punch the raptors, but when the Triceratops shows up, he just hits it with a gas.
Right. He's like, hey, that's a plant eater.
This will help you sleep.
It doesn't mean
You
any
poor
harm.
thing. If I could, I would take you with me. Shh, shh, shh. I'll call you Rosie.
You were always my favorite.
I love Triceratopses. I love it because Lantern creates an ape to choke out the T-Rex.
Yeah, it's the King Kong fight.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like, there you go.
Yeah.
So
this
then-
would look awesome.
I find it funny that they don't just bubble themselves again and fly away.
You gotta fight the dinosaurs.
You gotta fight the yeah. They're like, well, we're the
If
dinosaurs are
Batman
attacking, we
says,
have to fight
don't
them."
hurt them, just bubble yourself
No,
and
you
fly
just
away.
use some Aikido on them. Just use their momentum against them. So anyway,
That
Batman...
hurts.
Oh, make a sexy female dinosaur to lure it away.
Yoo-hoo! And then just runs that way.
Boing.
Anyway, Batman and Green Lantern get no bubble and they leave.
Okay.
And they go into a cave. And they have more of a back and forth. But basically, Green Lantern reveals that he thinks Vandal Savage sucks. And Batman's like, I concur.
Oh, he's a jerk.
Well, yeah, he's a villain.
Yeah. He's a villain.
Thank you.
Anyway, so Vandal Savage is sitting there in like this secret cave that I guess he made however many hundreds of years ago on Dinosaur Island. And he's got the egg there and he's kind of looking at it. He's like, come on, you stupid egg. Work.
Teleport me randomly.
Yeah, and they're like, whew, good. He doesn't know how it works.
Booga booga.
Yeah, and then Batman and Green Lantern look at each other to quip some more, and when they look back, the egg is still there, but Vandal Savage is gone.
Oh.
And they're like, what the crap? And then there's like an earthquake, and we get the like black and white effect again, and then Batman and Green Lantern wake up, and they're in the middle of the desert, and Batman says, I heard a horse, and they are encountered by Jonah Hex, who's like, well, you two look like the biggest clowns I've ever seen. And they're in the 1800s.
What the hell is this?
And Green Lantern says, oh no, I don't know anyone here.
Neither do I. What?
Great.
And Batman's just hiding the fact that he'd be like, I've been through time.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
I don't know anyone here.
Right? Like, the more you think about it, the more it's like, that's actually kind of funny. Like, why would you say that? This is a very dire circumstance that you're making jokes. Why are you focusing on this bit, Hal? We're going to die.
My goldfish.
This Civil War veteran is going to shoot us. And if I don't die, like, immediately from it, I'm going to die of a horrible fucking infection.
Yeah, it's not like I don't have my lantern with me.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Batman's like, take off your mask, Hal. And Hal's like, what? No, I'm not taking off my mask. No. Bandits wear masks in the Old West.
Oh.
So they take off their masks.
Plus, you just said you don't know anyone here.
Right, come on.
It doesn't matter.
But I love it because Batman and Hal take off their masks, and they through several pages of fun interplay that I'll spare you from, convince Jonah Hex to like let them ride with them into town, and they're like, we got sent here by a thing. It's an egg. It was actually like invented during this time because like you will come into possession of this egg at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a guy named
Maybe
Vandal Savage, and
soon.
we gotta go fight him. And
Right.
Jonah Hex is like, now that name I do know.
Vandal Savage?
What?
Because Vandal Savage is old. He's been
Right.
here, and he's encountered Hex, and Hex and Vandal Savage have fought.
Okay.
So Hex is like, okay, I'll help you, but you can't be walking around dressed like clowns. So we got to go get you some fun Batman and Green Lantern Old West cowboy costumes.
Okay. The fact that they found Hal Jordan green
boots and vest and bow tie combo.
Sweet.
The vest and the bow tie I get. It's the boots that are throwing me.
Because Green Lantern has green boots.
I know.
Yeah.
So
But
where
like
would they get
green
green
leather?
boots?
Yeah, right?
They would really have to dye that shit.
I know.
Granted, I love the fact that it's a green vest. It's funny.
It's fun. He has a white hat. Not only because, like, the heroes traditionally wear white hats.
Oh, he's a white hat, yeah.
But it's also theming.
Hal's got
Green
white
Lantern wears
hat.
white and green.
Batman's got black hat.
Yeah.
They're good bad guy.
Right? But
But
I
a
love
little
it 'cause-
good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, Jonah has the best line where he says, I had a dog that could put pants on faster than you two. I'm like, boy, Bendis, have you just been saving all this good shit for this run? Because I haven't read more than 6 issues of your Superman run that's as funny or as interesting or as good as that panel.
That is a good joke.
Basically, they're like, so Jonah, tell us more about like your encounters with Vandal Savage and the egg and what's going on. He's like, oh, I haven't seen the egg yet, but Vandal Savage is an asshole. And Hal Jordan's like, listen, my ring can't send us back in time. So like, we'd better figure out how to like get the egg and use it somehow to send us back to the future.
And
Right.
Batman doesn't say, don't worry, it'll happen on its own.
Batman is just kind of like rolling with it. I guess
like,
because
all
like
right.
this is a red letter day for me. I got to go to Gorilla City,
Right.
Thanagar, the Old West, and Dinosaur Island. Are you shitting me? So
I love this
Yeah,
egg!
I don't actually want to go back. I want to just spend some more time here in the Old West.
Vandal Savage even says like, if I left you here when he does fight him, he's
Yeah.
like, if I left you here, like you'd probably love it. Like you'd have a better life here than you would if I sent you back.
Right.
But
Batman doesn't strap on a gun, right?
no, he doesn't use guns.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, no guns. But yeah, so
I like that even in the Old West, Batman's like, no.
no, I'm good. I got a couple batarangs. So they're gonna do their ride out to the location where Hex last saw Vandal Savage,
Okay.
and he says 6-day ride, and Hal's like, okay, I know the
Yeah.
ring
nah.
only has like 26% charge, but let's go. And he just picks them all up and he's like, okay, let's go. And they just head towards that location to get there. And Hex just, when he lands, just heaves. Just empties his lunch over the side of this ridge.
Nice.
And I love the sequence where he's just like, brah. Brah. And they're like, well, he's never flown like that before. And Hal's like, man, I tried using the ring to contact like the Guardians of the Universe during the 1800s, and it's not working. So like, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Why not?
I know, right? Probably because the Guardians are like, you're not supposed to be at this time. If we interfere, or they're just being dickheads like they always are because fuck the Guardians.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The Guardians were all like, oh, Hal Jordan needs help. Let's not call him back.
I don't know who that is yet, but
But he has a Green Lantern ring.
I just assume it's. Wait a minute. We don't have a Green Lantern in that sector.
Maybe.
Prank call.
Actually, there may be a very good reason as to why Hal Jordan can't interact with the Green Lantern Corps of the 1800s. We'll get into that later.
Okay.
They're clearly getting closer to where they need to be because Hal Jordan's ring goes completely bonkers, and he's like, "He's never done this before!" And then he gets floated up in the air and then just explodes into a ball of light.
What?
And immediately, Hex is like, "Is he dead?" And Batman's like, "I hope not."
I have no idea what's going on.
And so Batman and Hex are left alone. So Savage is standing before them wielding the egg and has a gaggle of ninjas, which he calls the Black Order. They're clearly plucked from time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, nah.
By the way, it's a clan of ninjas.
Oh, excuse me. You're right. Good point. So Hex wants to shoot Savage because, they have unfinished business. And Batman is like, okay, let's call a truce for now. I'm stuck in the Old West. I need that to get back. Listen, Savage, you want this egg. You've been using it. You don't know how it works. It's untested technology. And this is a thing I think that Bendis has done. I feel like I've said this 3 different times, where a hero says to the villain, you are using technology beyond your understanding and control, and you must stop. Where the hero just tries to appeal to the villain like a person.
Right.
And Batman tries, and of course, Vandal Savage says no.
Right.
And then Savage goes, oh, screw this guy. He just starts unloading, and he shoots Savage in the chest with his revolvers. And Savage, of course, being immortal, it doesn't really kill him.
Right.
It is annoying.
Batman's like,
That
oh
still
yeah,
stings.
I probably should have told you something about Vandal Savage.
He can't die.
And his imperviousness to death.
Right. So the Black Order engage.
A Green Arrow.
Oh, no.
Oh.
It's just the Black Orders. See, because they have green swords.
Oh.
It's just to denote that they're not from any particular time.
Right.
Or
There's
place.
something weird
It looks
about
like they're
them.
from the future.
They're not
Yeah.
normal ninjas.
Exactly. So the Black Order engages Hex, and Batman fights through them to try to get to Savage. And we get this really awesome 12-panel grid, multiple pages of of the fight sequence,
It's awesome.
which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So Batman goes to fight with Savage, and he just he can't get to him, so he just reaches out, kind of pleading, and he says, just drop the egg, and then the egg goes to Batman and just enters into his hand.
He calls it to him?
Inadvertently.
Right.
And so then Batman raises up into the air, and then he blinks out into a flash of black and white.
It's
And,
like the egg chose him.
right? So he wakes up, and he is in Crime Alley in front of the Monarch Theater. No, he's not taken back in time. His parents aren't here. But he does say, oh, please don't tell me this thing took me back to the day my parents died. Because
Right.
I do not want to see that right now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That'd be super messed up.
yeah. And it's like, but Batman, a regular Batman book, not only would you have done that, but you also would have had Batman really full of angst and brooding.
Yeah.
But in this, he's just like, I don't think I can handle that today.
Well, he also would have talked to young Bruce.
Yeah.
And given him all this knowledge and instilled him with some confidence.
Then I want to screw up the timeline.
I'm not
you
talking
can't
about
screw
screwing
up
up
the
the timeline.
timeline.
I'm just being don't worry.
Pretend
it's going
to
to get better
be-
for you.
Yeah.
And you're going to clean up this city.
Yeah, except he doesn't.
I'm creating Batman.
It's worse. Yeah, I'll be the Bat. Get started earlier. Maybe that's the problem. So he just, he just comes to and he's like, oh, please tell me I'm not in the past. My parents aren't here. And then Alfred comes on the radio and he's like, Must Bruce. And he's like,
Oh, thank God.
He's like, oh, good, I'm back. And he grabs
Damn this historic district.
I love it because he grabs a carton of popcorn from the Monarch Theater. He puts the egg into it to hide it. And he's like, Alfred, I need you to get me out of here, double time it, because I really don't want to be here right now. And Alfred's like, oh shit, I just triangulated your location. Like, all right, I've sent somebody. And he goes, oh, great, you sent the Lambo. And Alfred's like, I haven't dispatched anything. We've just started talking. And Vandal Savage arrives in the Lamborghini, and he's like, I have been looking for you for 150 years. Blam. And he shoots Batman in the chest with a laser gun.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Takes a carton of popcorn with the egg in it, and he goes, you left me in the Old West. I'm the Vandal Savage from then who lived all the way up to this point because I saw your face and I knew who you were, and it took me... Don't ask me how I knew exactly where you were going to be and when and how.
Right.
Because that's Bendis, but, like, trust me, isn't this a cool scene? And I did it. So,
you also don't have time to ask me that question because I shot you.
right, so Batman dies in Crime Alley.
What?
And right before he dies, he has some Bendis dialogue where he says, like, Alfred, I've been shot. Vandal Savage shot me and he stole the egg, and you gotta come and get me because I really don't think I can handle dying in the same place my parents died.
Well, don't worry. If you do, you won't know.
It's just super messed up. Oh, Alfred, why aren't you talking to me? Oh, I can see it's because the two-way communicator that was in my ear got popped out when I hit the ground. Oh. So I'm just talking to myself. Ah, damn. Like, I wish you could be here so I could tell you how much I love you and how important you are to me. You're such a quiet, noble man.
Aww.
And then he dies. And so Savage is like... So Savage arranges for his nefarious schemes to take place on a James Bond-esque location, and then Alfred arrives to pick up Batman in the Batmobile. And I love Alfred's like, oh no, I'm driving the Batmobile. I have to be incognitus. So he's dressed as a driver wearing a domino mask. And I love that image.
That's awesome.
He's Kato.
Yeah. So then Batman dies and then immediately rises up and white energy flashes out of his chest and he is back to normal.
Huh.
And Alfred's like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, let's go. And he goes, why are you dressed?
Don't question it.
Yep, yeah. Don't ask. And Batman's, so Alfred's like, so why are you dressed like a cowboy? And he's like, because I was a cowboy. And he goes, you smell like a cowboy. And he goes,
Alfred, I have been having the best week.
This is the best day ever. It's literally just been one day. But he goes, actually, the Old West smells as bad as you'd imagine it would. And he goes, did you just die?
Are we not going to talk about that?
And he goes, I think I did, but I was spared. And he goes, and it has everything to do with the egg that the Riddler stole from a museum. And he's like, we have work to do. Let's go. So he
I
goes,
assume since the radiation was around him, like the egg resurrected him.
Radiation saved him?
yeah, the egg's radiation, yeah.
Yeah.
So then he goes, hey, did Green Lantern call? And Alfred's like, what? What does Green Lantern do with this? So then Batman goes back to the cave, and we're in the cave now. And
But how can we be sure?
because there's no sequence where he turns it off. And Batman has a voicemail from Hal, who's like, hey, I'm leaving this message on the Hall of Justice server. I got teleported back here. I don't know how or why, but I just then got called by the Green Lantern Corps. I gotta go. I got something to do in space. So
I'm not going to be in the book anymore.
So I'm not gonna be in the book anymore.
But I am fine.
But I am fine, and good luck. And if you ever figure out what happened to us, like, give me a call. Let me know, because I'm very curious.
Right.
Batman's like, hey, Hal. He calls and he leaves a message on Hal's, like, ring or the server or whatever. And he's like, hey, Hal, it's me. I'm back. I made it.
I died, but I'm okay now.
I died, but I'm okay now. I somehow managed to end up back in the present, even though you stranded me in the Old West. And
You bastard.
well, he didn't have any control over it either. But
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm tracking the egg signature, so I'll figure it out. And when I get the story done, I'll let you know.
Wow, Batman is the best friend in this book he's ever been.
Exactly.
Like returning messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even need to do that.
I should call him back right now.
Yeah. Well, what if he checks his messages and he's like waiting to hear back from me? He'll be worried if he doesn't hear. He won't know I'm okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I also
Who
got
are you?
Superman a birthday present.
Right.
It's the first home run ball he ever hit when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
In Little League.
What?
Yeah, I tracked it down and found it.
Yep. I'm the world's greatest detective.
And the world's greatest friend.
So Batman and Alfred had some fun back and forth where, Alfred's like, well, if the energy signature is alien in origin, then, and Batman says, I have not been infected by an alien spore. And Alfred's like, how could you know? How could you know that's my greatest fear?
What?
And Batman's like, it's fine. He goes, I want to talk about it. And then Nightwing shows
I
up.
feel like I'm going a little crazy.
Yeah. So Nightwing shows up, and
Yay.
Batman and Nightwing are like, hey,
Now you're in the book.
And he's like, yeah, Alfred said you disappeared, so he scrambled the Bat family, and I'm here. Someone's got to sit on the gargoyle, so I figured it might as well be me. So Batman's like, actually, think I could use your eyes on this. And he has, like, this like I don't know thing that is whatever. So doesn't
You gotta look at this
almost a
radiation.
microscope.
I need you to look at the radiation.
Like what is it? He doesn't explain.
I need some help with the science over here.
Yeah. So Batman and Nightwing look through the microscope at the science, and
Huh,
Alfred,
look, an alien spore.
it's not an alien spore. But Nightwing's like, that's the thing? Like, that's what we're looking at? And he's like, yeah, that's the thing that saved my life. I was shot point blank by a laser gun 2 hours ago, and I'm back. And he's like, and you think we can trace, like, we can track whatever this thing is to where it is right now? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, okay, I'm going. And Batman says, good, dynamic duo like the old days.
Aww.
So then the two of them go, and Nightwing points out how much he likes the new Batcopter, because some people enjoy the cool design of Nick Darrington. So they
Like
literally...
a B-2 bomber. They got a little bubble thing on the top. It's
Yeah.
flat. It's a flat plane, but there's a little bubble in the front.
And there's more bubble than there is, like, cockpit, when you actually see the cockpit. Anyway, so Batman and Nightwing...
You're being a cockpit right now.
Stop saying cockpit.
So Batman and Nightwing engage the villain's lair, which is a submarine.
Now it's James Bond.
Yeah. And so they bail out of the helicopter.
A submarine with a huge like glass dome on
yeah,
top.
that's where the climactic battle has to be.
It's awesome.
So
Who built
so you
it? Where
can
did it come
observe.
from?
Well, Vandal Savage is a man of resources.
Oh.
Okay, if you have a submarine and you don't have like a viewing room,
Yeah, come
what
on.
are you doing
what are you
with
even
your life?
doing?
You're building every submarine ever made
Yeah.
in history up till now.
Yeah, but if I have resources, money, and access to alien technology, I'm going to use it.
Oh.
So anyway,
Plus, that's how I can look at my favorite sharks.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you see? That's why I needed the egg. I had to copy the technology that formed the dome of the egg.
What? No, that's just a Fabergé egg.
I think
No,
it'll crack like this.
Super strong.
Oh yeah.
It's a fancy Fabergé egg.
So Batman and Nightwing jump out of the helicopter and they like have more banter where they identify the ninjas and he's like, yeah, he calls them the Black Order. He goes, so it's not the League of Assassins? And he's like, no, they're different ninjas.
It's something else.
And he goes,
It's a new thing.
I think they're from a different time. He's like, okay. So then we have this incredible double page splash of how Batman and Nightwing each infiltrate the sub and take out ninjas along the way. And we see them individually do it, but through each step, where they
Yeah.
both enter from the top, they both drop in from the bottom, and how they trust each other to take out different people. Batman goes the direct way, Nightwing goes through the air vents as Batman fights the ninjas, and then the last guy Nightwing takes down here, and Batman's already out of there.
That's awesome.
It's just so cool.
And there's a fish.
Yep.
Good eye.
It's building the world.
Ben
Yeah, yeah.
spies
They also
with his
not-
little eye something
A
that
fish.
starts with F.
Also, it's not overloaded though. Like
Yeah.
No, it's not like 30 fish. It's just
or
one fish.
all exotic fish or nothing but
Right.
sharks. Like it's just a fish to indicate it's water.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
forget,
world
it's
building. It's,
water.
cool. Like, you're getting a cross section of the sub, and the bottom of the sub doesn't end at, like the page.
No.
There's a little bit further.
Well, and each one is a layer, and it's like each layer indicates what layer it is. We're on the top side, we're in the middle, we're in the air vent, we're in the bow, we're in the pipes, we're in the water.
It's cool.
It's brilliant.
It is cool.
So then they just get to the cool dome area, and Vandal
Yeah.
Savage has the egg, and he's like, nah. So tell you what, Batman, you're awesome and a worthy adversary. I'm gonna kill you, but you deserve. You're Batman. That's something to be celebrated. Name the time, place, and location you'd like to die, and I will send you there using my awesome egg powers. And Batman's like, put it down. You don't know how to control it.
No.
And Savage is like, oh, you almost had me there. You almost convinced me. Try again. And he goes, I'm not afraid of you, Savage. And Savage's like, I didn't say you were. And he goes, I have no fear. I fear nothing. And he's like, oh, are you having a stroke right now? And then he goes,
That's what I would say.
and Batman goes, in brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. And he goes, no,
What?
stop. And he goes, let those who worship evil's might beware my power. And as he says the Green Lantern oath, the egg opens and a white lantern ring emerges from it and goes onto Batman's hand and forms this special, awesome lantern armor for Batman.
What the hell is happening?
Whoa, I didn't
Nightwing's
see
like,
that coming.
Nightwing's like, did I miss the Bat Family newsletter? What's going on here?
All right, somebody catch me up to speed.
I only just entered the book like 2/3 way through. So now Batman just wields an awesome white lantern mace and then knocks Vandal Savage on his ass.
Nice.
And Nightwing's like, so you're a Green Lantern now? And he's like, it's a white lantern, I guess.
I said the Green Lantern oath, but it's
But
a
a white lantern popped out.
Yeah, well, because Batman's figured it out.
This was before there was color.
No, it's what? It's a combination of all the colors.
Yeah.
That only
All
happens
right,
after
we're
Blackest
gonna
Night, though.
Yeah. So then Savage is like, I've been chasing this thing forever, and it shows you it's horse shit. And he's like, "Bramp, shut up."
What did he hit him with? Oh, it's a hand. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, he just yeah,
Big bat face.
just pushed him in the face. Yeah. And he goes like, so yeah, I at first I thought it might have been Zeta beams, but no. So it had to have been Green Lantern ring. When Green Lantern freaked out and the white energy blasted out of him, I was like, oh, okay. What Batman has discovered is, he's like, this is an experimental proto Green Lantern ring from the past. That it's like what the Guardians started with, but it was it was too powerful and unwieldy for them to trust, so they abandoned it. They scratched and went green.
Oh, okay.
But it's for the Green Lanterns. You know, it's for the Guardians who would eventually be
Yeah.
the Green Lanterns.
But they're just like, A, you look like a dork.
I think he looks awesome.
You're not-
really like his Saruman of many colors, translucent cape.
The coloring is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just talking about the fact they're like, we're not going to have, like, the Guardians, like, the people who, like, protect the galaxy running around like this.
Yeah, with big white armor.
Like, what dorks?
Why not?
Well,
they're
it
white
picks
knights.
up everything.
He's the White Knight.
True. Yeah. Well, he's the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Not now.
Well, no, it's true. So yeah, it's just that's the idea, is that this is a proto lantern ring. Again, Bendis invented it, made up.
I'm like, wait a minute. Does this fit at all
No.
with Green Lantern history?
Nope.
Okay, no.
As it turns out, there's also a little bat on the ring.
Well, I mean, like,
Eyes.
So,
but,
so this can't really be in continuity.
I mean, it becomes in continuity because like people like it.
Yeah,
And-
but how do they explain where this friggin'
oh, it just they made one. It didn't work out. They tried to get rid of it.
I'd love it if it was not even the
Guardians?
The Guardians. Mm-hmm. Where there's like, what? You think we're the only people that have ring technology?
Right.
Other people have rings.
Yeah. I mean, but the Guardians made those too.
No, I'm just talking about like.
Oh, just
I'm not
rings
talking
in
about the
general?
different prismatics. I'm just talking about like,
Oh.
well, this is just. We're not the only people that can harness this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You got plenty of worlds.
Yeah, who
Someone
make-
else
Well,
makes
yeah,
a
I mean,
ring.
if you can make if one person can make a thing, like someone else
The
should
Guardians
be able to
invented
make that
Sinestro's
thing.
ring. That's not like a
Right,
Guardian
that's not a
invention.
Guardian,
They just made that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it is the Guardians though. So yeah, Batman's like, I think I'm actually kind of trapped in this thing. Like it's broken technology. I just didn't want Savage to use it.
Oh.
And Nightwing's like, well, I'll take it off. And like the ring makes the armor like create spikes. He's like, see, no, it's defending itself from any threat. Don't touch me
Right.
or do anything to suggest to the ring I might be in danger. And he's like, well, then don't turn around. And when Batman turns around, every Green Lantern from the entire Corps is there.
Oh.
So that is why Hal got called away.
Hal's not in this. Hal's busy.
We're
This is
doing
the other-
something unrelated?
Well, he is the greatest.
You're telling me the Guardians were like, oh shit, something's going down.
Yep.
Hal Jordan, we need you right away
Yep.
in your sector.
Yep. Well, to another sector. To a
Yeah.
different way.
Yeah, they did, because they were like, this is like a super powerful situation, and we do not want Hal Jordan, Parallax, to be anywhere near it.
Oh my
Hal, could
God.
you go like to the other side of the galaxy? I
That
got
could be
a
what
problem
they did. They
that I
sent
need
him
you
the
to
ass
deal
into the
with."
galaxy just to keep him from becoming White Parallax.
I assume it's because there's no way Hal Jordan would go against Batman. They're like, all
Yeah,
right.
he would. He'd punch him
Nah,
in
he
the face.
would, yeah.
No, I mean, look at this.
He doesn't have any reference
Jon
for
Stewart's
Batman.
there. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
he's worked with these people before. But they're like, surrender, you're using untested Green Lantern technology. And he's like, dudes, I'm Batman. They're like, we know.
Yeah, that doesn't stop us.
Yeah,
We
you
don't
need
put
Take
it
the
down.
ring
you still
off.
need to
Yeah.
surrender.
Put
yeah.
the ring down. And he's like, I can't put it down. And then they like start to
Just
attack
put it
him.
down, man. Why would you just put it down?
It's on my finger. I gotta take
All
it
you gotta
off.
do is take it off. Just take it off.
I can't take it
off
off
the ring.
anymore.
Take off the motherfucking ring.
And then the ring just attacks all the Green Lanterns. Then it raises him up in the air, and then he just
boy.
he just flashes
goes
white
Super
and many
Saiyan.
colored, and he awakens, and he's like, uh-oh, because he's in a world of white and color.
Oh boy.
And he's like, I love it because the sequence is him just standing there, and he walks off the panel and ends up on the other side of the panel, and he goes, uh-oh.
I don't know why, but I
no.
want ice cream.
I think
I'm in like the story
ring.
or
right. Am I gonna turn around and see the reader?
imagination.
No, he's like, I'm in the ring.
Oh, he's in the
Or I'm
ring.
dead, and this is death, which sucks.
Yeah.
I'm in the ring. Tastes like soft serve in here.
Yeah. So he's just sitting there, and he just has a seat, and he goes, "Ring, what's your function?" No, okay, that didn't work. I'm Batman. Hello. Who am I talking to right now? No reply. Okay. All right. As long as my physical body's okay, I'm sure I'm fine. And then, like, the Black Order is attacking the Lanterns. Like, all Savage people are attacking. So the Lanterns are engaged, and Nightwing's just protecting Batman's body. He's like, Batman's physical body is not okay! And then Batman is greeted by a little female guardian.
Oh.
And he's like, "Hi, Guardian of Oa. I'm Batman of Earth. What do I call you?" And she's like, "Batman of Earth. Congratulations on being selected for the Protector of the Galaxy." He's like, "Thank you." "How was I selected?" "You were selected for your biochemical courage, cultural morality, and appropriate sense of self." "What's your name?" "I'm Sita. I'm the creator of the original Power Ring. Would you like to hear the history of the ring?" "Sita, are you a program?" "I am." "Are you a representation of your original creator?" "I am." "Do you know how long ago you were created?" "Greetings, Batman of Earth. Congratulations on being selected as the Protector of the Galaxy."
Oh boy.
Damn it.
And Batman's like, "Okay." So then, like, they do this, like, kind of, like, sequence where he's presented with a ring, and he's like, "The ring is broken. We can't wield it." See, this ring was lost on Earth for, like, possibly thousands of years, and the power range, the power matrix over time and space is dangerous because of the damage to your program. Like, your program is damaged, and that's what's making the ring freak out.
I see you're fighting evil. Would you like help with that?
She's clipping.
Yeah.
So then, so then Sita basically, like, looks at him like he's an asshole, and then he loses the power. And
Okay, well, clearly we made a mistake.
Yes, and then it goes on to Savage.
Oh, no.
Savage is like, "Yeah, finally!" And so he repels the Green Lanterns and he grabs Batman, and he's like, "I would have had this years ago if it wasn't for you. So I'm going to repay the kindness by making it so that Batman never existed." The next page, Riddler is strapped to a chair, and he's got a bag over his head. And he is faced with Deathstroke the Terminator. So Deathstroke is like, "All right, Riddler, where's Vandal Savage?" And then a dude next to Deathstroke goes, "You stole an antique egg recently, and it had unknown power, and I believe that it's used by Vandal Savage." And he goes, "Where's Vandal Savage now?" And Riddler goes, "What the hell? Are you Bruce Wayne?" And Bruce Wayne is like, No, I'm not.
No.
No.
What? Yes, you are.
He goes, "This is weird." And so the idea here is that Batman was erased from existence.
Okay.
And Bruce Wayne was Bruce Wayne. And then this egg thing happened, and Bruce Wayne felt compelled by forces that are beyond his control to get involved. So Bruce Wayne hired Deathstroke to interrogate the Riddler and get this information. So then Bruce Wayne, like, infiltrates this castle. And he's talking to Alfred, but Alfred's like, "Master Bruce, why did you bail and just run off to go fight Vandal Savage for no reason?" And then he goes to Vandal Savage, and Vandal Savage is, like, unconscious, and the ring is, like, emanating with power. And he's like, "Vandal Savage, we met at a party one time. I keep having these dreams, these waking dreams about you and an egg." And then the ring glows with power and goes back on his hand, and he's back to being Batman. But he doesn't know who Batman is.
Oh.
Huh.
So he's just dressed
He's
as...
still been unmade.
But, like,
Yes.
He
that is
hasn't
who he
been
is.
unmade.
Well, it's just more like Savage uses the ring to pull Batman into the ring with him, and he's like, "So I'm stuck in here in an endless void with no time, with no time or space."
I thought it'd be great. It sucks.
Well, no,
Turns out-
it's like I'm stuck in the existence of
Yeah.
the ring. Like, I'm trapped in the ring, and I don't know how to get out.
Exactly. I thought it'd be great, but
Yeah,
it sucks.
But it sucks. And so you warned me that I didn't know what I was doing. And so I figured you probably knew how to get out of here,
Oh.
but I unmade you. So I used the ring's power to infiltrate the Bruce Wayne that I made. Like, you know.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
emerged as a consequence.
come to
of
me.
yeah.
And I need Batman back to save me out of this thing. So welcome back.
That is a weird concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Batman gets to be Batman again in this amazing full-page splash where Nick Darrington just draws, like, everything that is Batman. Oh, and also Sita, that Guardian.
I need you to remember her because
Yeah.
I need you to get me out of this
That
mess
is
with
part
her.
of your history.
Yeah.
now.
So then he's like, "I'm Batman." Punch. And
Okay, I see that you're still punch.
Yeah.
Okay, stop hitting me.
So then Sita shows up and she's like, like, you have access to the rings. Like, exit program. You may leave through this doorway. And then Vandal Savage is like, okie dokie. So then he just runs away with the ring. And Batman's like, no, stop. So Batman chases Vandal, and they fall through the doorway. And through that doorway, they also enter into like every different time and place throughout DC's history. So they end up like at the first appearance of Superman, and they get to like the invention of the Metal Man, and they're under the sea where Aquaman's riding a giant seahorse. And they're in the future where there's like knights with crazy technology, and they get to like the Fortress of Solitude. And they go to Apocalypse where Darkseid is facing against Mr. Miracle, and like all this really neat stuff.
Yay, that's cool.
And so they fall through it, and then it's all like kind of represented through this.
They keep
beautiful
opening
image.
new doors.
Yes.
And they just pass through
Yeah.
each scene.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So then Savage drops the ring as they fall through space itself, and then Batman grabs the ring, and they end up back on the submarine. And then they arrive. Batman's got the ring, and one of the lanterns is like, Batman, we'll take the ring. He's like, please take it, get it out of here. So they leave. The lanterns just take the ring and they go, and there's no interaction. And Batman's like, woo.
Well, that was crazy.
And he goes, and Nightwing's like, hey, where's Vandal Savage? And he's like, I have no idea.
No, I lost track of him.
I guess that
Space?
well, he's like, the ring probably took him someplace. So when Savage awakens, he's back in the 1800s, and he's like, you know, he's wasted, and Jonah Hex is there, and he's like, well, there he is. Rustle him up. Let's go. So then, you know, the lanterns take the ring. The ring leaves Savage in the Old West, so he's got to relive the last 100 years.
Yeah, nice.
And Batman re-implants the Fabergé egg into the Gotham Museum.
Right.
In a
Who
beautiful
put it in an egg?
Somebody. In the Old West, presumably.
What?
The 1800s.
No, it must have been somebody in like Europe.
The
Right.
egg
Where they
wasn't-
made
Well, no,
Fabergé
actually,
eggs.
it was Russian. The Fabergé
Russian,
eggs were
right,
Russians.
yeah.
But yeah, well, my assumption is that, like,
Someone found the
found
ring.
the
What
ring.
was it doing on Earth?
We have to make
that's
some
where it
kind of.
ended up when it was, like, thrown away, or when its power got too vast for the Guardians.
Well,
I
they
don't
just
know.
like, oh, we'll just put it on the planet over here.
Yeah, why not? Screw it.
Maybe that's a story
For another time.
for another time.
So then Batman
This
reimplants.
makes no sense.
I mean,
No, it's
there's
just
just
like-
a lot that's like not explained as to
Yeah.
how it all like, got kicked off.
Exactly.
But it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter. So
Yeah.
Batman puts the ring back, and I love that the panel
Puts
of
the
him
egg
doing
back.
it.
There's the egg minus
I'm
the
sorry.
ring.
Yeah, he puts the egg back without the ring. So Batman puts the egg back, and these security guards are like, well, I've been doing this a very long time, and that literally never happens. And the guy goes, well, you got to love living in this universe, man. And he goes, well, who did this? And he goes, well, who do you think? And the last page is a image of Batman, like, swinging away.
Yay.
And the guard saying, Superman.
Yeah.
He's the Boy Scout.
Because the reality is, if anybody stole it, it was Catwoman, and Batman's not going to put it back because he's fucking her, so, you know.
Is he in this
Constantly.
reality? Okay.
He's never not.
She's not in the book.
So,
No.
Nor
it's
is
fine.
Clark Kent in the book or
No,
Superman in
well,
the book.
he's like, no, I'm doing Superman. Like, this is a Batman book. I don't want to cross over my stories.
Right. And Batman wouldn't call Superman because,
You know, he's a jackass.
even though he's dealing with a highly dangerous
Well, the
Green Lantern, proto Green Lantern
Hal
ring.
and Cyborg are like, why didn't you call the Justice League?
Yeah.
Like, Alfred even
I
says
work better on my
well,
own.
when they go to the when Batman's going to go to Gorilla City, Alfred's like, I think this is the time when you call your friends the Justice League, and he says,
Right.
no, this mission requires stealth. That's why I need my
Yeah.
awesome new stealth suit.
This mission requires stealth, which you blow almost immediately.
Yes.
I'm a little confused.
Okay.
One part really starts to make sense.
Yeah.
Batman came back to life because it's a White Lantern ring.
Right.
It's got a lot of power
No,
or whatever.
it's not because it is a White Lantern ring the way you know it from
But
Jeff
that's
Johns.
the thing.
It's just,
Right.
it happens to be white. It is essentially a Green Lantern ring that happens to be white, probably because of how much power it has or something.
Right.
But
How did it bring it back to
It brought
life?
it back to life because the ring can do many things.
See, that's the thing.
The white
If
ring
it
has many
was-
powers.
Yes.
If it was a White Lantern ring because of that, sure.
Right. But no.
But then how does it get its powers that way?
Well, it doesn't.
Well,
it's
maybe
not a
it
white.
projects energy through space.
Well, it's not a White Lantern ring.
Yeah,
like
it's a
not
different
the
thing.
White Lantern ring that
Yeah.
like resurrects the dead.
Even Hal's ring can't transport them through time.
No, it
and this
can't.
ring does.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so
I-
it does a
maybe
lot of
it-
things that the rings don't
Maybe it's
normally
because
do.
the Guardians are like, that's too much power. When we're going to make it an
Yeah.
intergalactic space force, they need to like.
Yeah, they're not all gonna be awesome people.
We don't give street cops bazookas. We give them like sidearms.
We had
you know? Like,
one ring that
Yeah.
was going to be
I guess
one
the
ring
galaxy
to
like
rule them
everything.
all, if you will.
if you will, yeah, perhaps.
And then we decided that was a bad idea.
Yeah. So I gave 9. 9 rings.
Wait a minute. Batman. Yes, that was my name.
I am Batman the White.
I am Batman the White.
Now think of Batman as you should have been.
And then he also has the cape, so he can be Batman the Many-Colored! Oh. See how they shimmer! Not in the movie.
Not in the movie, that's just...
Thank God.
Instead of a Dark Knight, you will have a Radiant King!
That's pretty dope.
Okay.
You do not want Chris Lee going, see how they shimmer.
No.
I kind of do.
No, I mean, I do, but not in the
desperately
actual movie. I want an outtake where they're just like a deleted scene.
Because he would.
Like, we're not
He
doing
read
that.
those books. He knew Tolkien.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, Batman Universe is awesome. I love this book. It's such a fun ride.
Batman went on a ride, and we went on a ride with him.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
just
this
had
book was.
some fun.
Yeah, and Darrington is like, if this was drawn by anybody else, I'd be like, okay, who cares? But like, he takes the opportunity to play with it and try new things. And when he gives you something, like, he shows you not necessarily what you desperately need to see or want to see, but like, he shows you something else, like something else that you didn't know you wanted to see.
Yeah, you wouldn't have even thought of.
Yeah, like we get like the vistas, we get the big vista sequences, but like the fight scenes are unconventional, but like, you know, you could picture them, but you never seen them depicted in such a way. So like, yeah, like good stuff. Plus, yeah,
And quite a few scenes where you see the character in multiple pages on the page.
Yeah, doing
or
different
spots on the
things.
page.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's just like,
convention.
that's how I'm showing you the flow of time.
Yes, and the flow of action.
Yeah.
You get how many costume changes? Batman. You got the Batman proto suit. You got the stealth suit. You got the Hawkman suit. And you got the white lantern rings.
Yep, and the cowboy outfit.
And the cowboy suit. 5 Batman costume changes.
Oh, and just Bruce Wayne, you know, I'm not Batman,
Oh,
but I'm
yeah.
a noisy
And not Batman Bruce
infiltrator.
Wayne. Yeah, ring-addled Bruce.
That's a lot of action figures.
That's a lot of action figures or statues, collectible items. But yeah, otherwise, I love the story. Bendis is like, oh, okay, I could be a really great Batman writer. Or he's like, I put all my juice into this one thing, and you don't want me to do that. But the fact is, like, I want Bendis to write. When I said Bendis needs to write Batman, I was like, yeah, because I want Bendis doing like Batman street level stuff. You know, people getting raped and murdered, Batman punching their asses out, like you know, that kind of thing.
Apparently, you didn't know
this.
Not this at
Not
all.
even close.
And you're like, but this is okay.
But that's
But
okay,
I'll take
which
it.
means there's still room for him to do that. Like, he could still do a story where he's like, where like Batman never shows up and he's always matches Malone through the entire arc. Or you could do an entire story about Batman like infiltrating some kind of like corrupt casino. Like, you could do Batman facing against some rogue in a bat suit through the city. You know, you could do a scene where like, you know, someone's trying to assassinate Jim Gordon and he's gonna take care of that. Like, you could do all the street level stuff, and he still found a way to give you Batman Universe, which is something you've never thought you ever wanted.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be awesome. And for the like, you know, Batman falling through the doors in time and dealing with like multiple timelines and locations and in space and stuff, sure, but also he's a fun character throughout. Like, normally Batman's like, every event he's ever in, he's got his arms crossed, he's frowning.
He's very gruff.
Yeah, but this is like, woo! Like, and it still somehow is, just like Frank Miller said, yeah, that's Batman.
Yeah.
But like, it's just a Batman I haven't seen in a long time, if ever. A Batman who has friends, who calls back.
Yeah. Who's not a dick to everyone.
Yeah, he's not a dick at all. Like,
Yeah.
he's perfectly reasonable.
Who doesn't brood.
Yeah,
No.
and who still has like adversity to overcome.
And you threw him in, you gave him his origin, you threw him in Crime Alley.
Yep.
And he wasn't like, this, you crossed a line.
Yeah.
He's just like, this is very traumatic for me. I don't want to be
I
here
really
right
wish
now.
I didn't have to be here.
I would rather not be here.
I'm
today.
really
something you could
hoping I don't
relate
die
to?
here. Oh, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's for that alone, and there's so much more. You must buy Batman Universe. There's a link in the description. Grab it. But like, if you see it anywhere, just go buy it. And if you see Nick Darrington, tell him, "You the man." And if you see Bendis, say like, "Hey, Batman,
Way to
come
go.
on,
Oh, yeah.
come on.
You could do more.
Don't be afraid.
Just do it.
You can do it. And also, what did
it.
you tell Matt Fraction?
Or Matt Fraction, what did Bendis tell you?
Yeah. Really, the question is, hey Matt,
How do you think of Batman?
come on.
What was your...
It's just us here.
Matt, we'll give you an exclusive on ComicPop, man.
He'll jump at the chance. Oh, and we'll point me to the episode where you did my run on Hawkeye.
Are you sure you want me to do your run on Hawkeye? You seen the show?
He would. It's
You
good.
think it would be good?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
okay.
good. No, it's
Oh,
good.
all right.
It's worth doing.
All right.
All right, everybody's favorite dinosaur, go. Triceratops.
I guess T-Rex.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. It's pretty
I
dope.
need the little arms.
I don't know if I have one.
You don't have a favorite
I
dinosaur?
didn't have a favorite dinosaur. Go back. Go back to, young Ben, baby Ben. What's your favorite shark?
You like Stegosaurus, Velociraptors.
Yeah.
I mean, I always wanted a
Copies.
dinosaur I could ride.
Stegosaurus would be cool. Between
Stegosaurus would be hard.
Be
Like
hard
it's
to
got all those
ride.
plates.
Yeah.
I like the ankylosaur. That's fun too.
Oh.
With that tail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the tail.
They're just
the big
cute. They
club
remind me of
tail.
armadillos, but like
Yeah.
huge and reptilian.
I bet you could ride a Protoceratops. They don't have like
Yeah, I'm
sharp
gonna
horns.
pretend I know what that is.
It's like a smaller Triceratops with no horns.
Yeah, but doesn't it have that big back ridge?
I
It
want
does,
the
it does
I
have
want
a
the
frill,
ridge. Yeah,
which
I
would be
want the frill.
perfect. You could put your legs around its head with
Yeah,
the frill would
and
be
then
like,
grab
If it
onto
looks
it
up,
like a
it's gonna
wheel.
crush me.
You gotta be careful.
yeah.
I put a saddle on it.
I guess my favorite dinosaur is the fake dinosaur. Was the Brontosaurus.
Oh, you know what? Turns out the Brontosaurus
why?
actually is real again.
yeah.
I feel like you're gaslighting.
No,
me.
it's real.
No, it's real again.
No, they're gaslighting us. They were like, "Oh, Brontosaurus, asshole, it's wrong, it's fake." Nope. Oh, no, yeah, no, it's real.
Yeah. I mean, all it ever was like one dinosaur with
long-necked
like
dinosaur.
a different head on it, which is like they all look basically similar anyway.
Yeah.
So like,
I know it's
yeah.
back.
We
Yeah,
know what you
it's-
mean when you say Brontosaurus.
It's the long-necked, stumpy giraffe.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Now, what is your favorite shark?
Favorite shark.
Yeah, come on. You live down the beach. I know you have a favorite shark.
They are living
I
fossils,
don't.
so it is relevant.
That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
know, we don't even know how old sharks are. They live 2,000-3,000 years. We don't know.
Yeah, that's why we were gonna find Megalodon in the movie The Meg, which was garbage.
Is that your favorite shark?
No,
The Megalodon?
fuck no.
Okay, so that indicates you have one.
See? Boom. Hammerhead.
Since it's definitely not Megalodon, what
I'd
is
say
it?
I'm more terrified of sharks.
Well, yeah. Well, then dinosaurs?
Well,
one,
you mean
fine,
because sharks
fine.
are real?
one you can actually be eaten by one, and the other one is
My favorite shark is the nurse shark because you actually swim with them. They're not gonna eat you.
Oh, what about the whale shark?
Yeah, they don't eat
Not a
you.
shark.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a shark.
And the whale shark, I always see those pictures
not
of
a
like
whale.
those divers who like grab onto their fins and they're just like, weed. I'm like, no way.
Way.
That's like awesome.
That's like being
Yeah.
next to a whale. It's cool, but it's also like this thing is so massive.
Oh
next to me.
yeah, no, it's true.
Thank God they're
The
gentle.
nurse shark. Okay.
Yeah, nurse shark. I'll go with nurse shark.
Okay.
You?
I don't know. I think I gotta go great white. When I was a kid, I loved the hammerhead just because it was like distinct. But like,
Yeah.
as I understand it, they're like super aggressive and at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I'm a Spider-Man, Batman guy. I'm gonna go iconic. I'm gonna go great white. Plus Jaws.
Yeah.
How about you?
Tiger shark.
Tiger shark.
Oh what? Nailed it.